Drake & Associates. I believe retirement planning should be easy, and you should be able to get all the information you need in one place. That's why I'm offering the Retirement Ready Toolkit, a comprehensive resource for your retirement. In it, you'll find a copy of my new book, Get Retirement Ready. It'll provide insight on taxes, Social Security, income, and more. You'll also receive resources on retirement's most common concerns. To get your toolkit, call or text KIT to 414-404-4994. Get your Retirement Ready Toolkit from Drake & Associates now by calling or texting KIT to 414-404-4994.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Law Financial Group, LLC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply any level of skill or training.
Double pane prices for triple pane protection. Right now. Installed only by craftsmen that meet the Semper Fi standard. From your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
After a huge homestand, the Brewers take the show on the road. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 5:15.
The southern half of Wisconsin looking at some fire danger conditions considered very high right now. The DNR says conditions are capable of a rapid spread of fire once ignited.
Avalanche dangers locking down ski resorts in the American West and other places. The snow won't stop. In Vermont, total of 221 inches at a ski resort there. Vail, Colorado, over 700 inches of snow this season at Tahoe and Mammoth. But 877 inches in Alta, Utah tops them all. CBS News correspondent Elise Preston.
Now, a new fear, the big melt.
We're dealing with spring wet slides as opposed to winter cold slides, which can be almost as damaging.
It's the same worry in California's Sierra Nevada mountains. Residents in Mammoth Lakes are shelling out up to $20,000 to remove the towering snow, easing themselves of winter's tight grip this spring.
As accused bank robbers go, this one's Bonnie, but no Clyde.
Bonnie Gooch, with 2 past bank robbery convictions, faces new charges after police say she robbed a bank in Pleasant Hill, Missouri, and handed a teller a note that said, "I didn't mean to scare you." Gooch is 78, in jail, bail set at $25,000. She also was convicted of robbing a California bank in 1977 and one in the Kansas City suburb Lee's Summit in 2020. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Apparently not very good at it. Or at least not very good at making it stick, right?
78 years old. Wow.
Pardon me, would it be too much to ask if you would give me all of your money? 5:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living.
Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at our May 10th open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
Let's get an early check on the roads this Monday morning with Debbie.
All right, things are looking really good, Vince. We got full freeway speeds across the area. One broken down vehicle, and that is on 94 northbound, just past Rawson. It's off on the left shoulder. Definitely well lit. You can see it. Not a problem to get past it, so we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: morning clouds and afternoon sunshine with high temperatures close to 70 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight mostly clear with a low of 48 degrees, more sunshine and breezy for Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s. Sunny and windy for Wednesday with a high of 77, more sunshine for Thursday with a high of 76, and adding in some cloud cover for Friday with a high of 70 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temperature already 50 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Did you catch all that? Monday, today, high of 70. Tuesday, 75 for the high. Wednesday, 77 for the high. Not done yet. 76 for a high on Thursday. And then we cool way off on Friday to a high of 70 degrees.
You know what I'm going to ask? When are you going to be out there? When will you be on a golf course?
I think this coming weekend, finally, I'll get out. I know a lot of folks are out there.
I don't think the weekend looks really good, though, does it?
Well, have to go now. Like, golf season is here.
I have the air conditioner coming on this week.
Well, think about that, right?
Anything over 70, it's on.
It's going to happen. That's classic Wisconsin spring, right? I'm not turning it down. Happy with, mid to upper 70s, but I don't need 77. I don't need 77 in early April. What I need is not 38 and a sideways mist, which we surely will get again.
Oh, yeah, it'll come.
Hey,
it'll come.
Where are my 55s?
Hey Vince, what of lawn wars this year? How you doing? How you fixed for that?
Not great right now. It's
oh dear.
Did not weather the freeze thaw very well. I got some bare spots. I got some fixer uppers.
You still got construction tearing up some of that? Or
No,
is that
construction
all
is done.
Okay.
For folks who follow my lawn wars closely, I had my street torn up last year, and they did a number on my lawn.
Yeah.
And then they came through and planted this Frankenfescue. I don't know what that was, and that all came in just. It's like this nuclear green color. And
There's weeds in there.
Yeah, I ended up tearing it all out and sodded.
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
I understand.
But now the debate is sod or seed. They just got a couple of patches. But so, okay, you could throw some seed down and have some really good results here, but then we all of a sudden cool off to like 50s and whatever, and it won't fully take. But I'm anxious.
I thought 50s, that's a good temp for growing.
Not if that's your high.
Okay.
You want those cool overnight temperatures, that's fine, but you got to warm up. You need the sunshine.
Oh, all right. Here we go.
So this is a great...
See, we're learning things.
You brought it up.
I did. But we're learning things. This is good.
Yeah.
Get that Milorganite down sooner rather than later. 5:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Quality furniture that lasts. The good stuff. And because it's good quality furniture, it won't be the least expensive. But if you compare our caliber of furniture and our prices to the other higher-end furniture stores throughout Greater Milwaukee, you'll find that Ken Michaels Furniture is truly priced at a value. It's the kind of furniture you won't regret buying. The good stuff at good prices. Furniture for life at Ken Michaels Furniture. In Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, browse our selection at kenmichaelsfurniture.com. At our stores, we don't have 500 in-stock mattresses. But the good news is you only need one. We make them one at a time, just for you. You choose the firmness level, the type of filling materials you want, which could be cotton, wool, latex, or foam, and in 3 to 5 days, we deliver it to you fresh from our factory at a price that's hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Milwaukee mattresses from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept called the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're 50 or older and want a bigger, better retirement, call Mitch Lyons Wealth to get a free copy of this brand new movie at 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free. Plus, I'll include a copy of my book, Retirement of Steel. And I'll even pay your shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After 10 days to start the season, the Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in the National League. Who had that on their bingo card after only 9 games? But after only producing 5 hits on Saturday night, the Brewers, led by Willie Adames and Christian Yelich, well, they brought out the offense and the cheesehead.
Christian Yelich, first pitch swinging. It's a drive to center. O'Neill is back at the track. It is gone! Yelich's first blast of the season. He's got 3 hits today, and the Brewers lead it 4-1.
Big day for Christian Yelich there as Jeff Levering was on the call on WTMJ as the Brewers go on to take care of those annoying St. Louis Cardinals for the win and the series win, defeating them by a final of 6-1 to win the early season series 2-1. Freddie Peralta did get the start and the win. He was awesome, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 earned run and striking out 7 on his way to his 2nd victory already on the season. Next up for the Brew Crew is a 10-day West Coast road trip beginning tonight in Arizona. First pitch is set for 8:40. Over to the NBA, the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks wrapped up their regular season with a loss in Toronto on Sunday afternoon, 121-105. Giannis was one of 7 players who did not suit up for the Bucks as they get some rest here heading into the playoffs. And after clinching that number 1 seed, Coach Bud says it's time to focus on the playoffs.
Credit to the players to finish this season the way they did, to have I think us improve in a lot of areas. Our defense is something that we hang our hat on, and individually, a lot of guys, played well, collectively played well, and now it's, time to get ready for the postseason.
Milwaukee will begin their postseason on Sunday, April 16th, so about a week from now. Their opponent is yet to be determined as they await the winners and losers of the NBA play-in tournament, which begins tonight and it goes on to Wednesday. And the Bucks will see either Toronto, Chicago, or Atlanta. And finally, over to golf, following some ugly weather over the course of Friday and Saturday that saw canceled play. And starting the day, 4 shots back on Brooks Koepka, Jon Rahm used a 30-hole marathon finish on Sunday to storm back and win the 87th Masters tournament by 4 shots. With the win in Augusta, Rahm secures his 2nd major title and now officially moves into number 1 spot in the world.
Man, the drama largely done by the second 9, though. Like
it was, yeah.
Certainly the latter part, last 6, 7, 8 holes, it was like, Brooks was trying to make a run again, but there was just too much of a gap.
And you're a golfer. What does the 30-hole finish for you do?
Well, I think
from a competitive standpoint,
I think it was less about the 30 holes and more about the uncertainty of start times. When do we start up again? When do we play? Like these guys are creatures of habit, as most athletes are, right? Yeah. So if you know the day in, okay, this is my tee time. This is when I wake up. This is when I do my warm up. This is and that was all thrown out and into chaos because of the weather. So that definitely was a factor. I mean, you saw Brooks didn't handle it, and Rahm
No, he did not handle it well at all. He went into, I think it was going into Sunday, he was up for
right,
it.
Yes. Yeah. 5:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Brewers fans, it's me, Dom Catronio, host of Brewers Extra Innings, here to tell you that you can now catch Brewers Extra Innings wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Spotify, and of course, WTMJ.com and the WTMJ mobile app. Every stat, every storyline, and of course, highlights from the games this season following the Brewers all year long. Catch Brewers Extra Innings, presented by Fifth Third Bank, right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
For over 5 decades, a true American band. This is America. Live in concert. An unforgettable evening with America. July 12th, Riverside Theater. Tickets at papstheatergroup.com. America, live in concert.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
From the Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Center, let's check in with Debbie Lazica.
It is looking pretty good right now, Vince. We really don't have any kind of delays. We got light volume around the area, and things are moving fine. No major incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Brendan Johnson. Morning clouds today, then we'll see the sun and a high of 70 degrees. Mostly clear tonight with a low down to 48. 75 the high on Tuesday. Wednesday's high 77. Thursday 76. And dropping back down to 70 degrees for your high temperature under partly cloudy skies on Friday. Right now we're at 50 already in Milwaukee. Doing some thinking on this weekend. I can't figure out if the right word is paradox or if it's irony that's a better fit. Maybe it's neither of them, but either way, my lens on this, we started talking about this Friday when the article that I'm going to quote came out, Eric, in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, but I'll back up on that in a moment. But first, you have conservatives, you have Republicans across the country who got exactly what they wanted, what they've been fighting for half a century. The U.S. Supreme Court finally reversed course on Roe v. Wade and overturned that precedent. It's what they've wanted for 50 years. And now I wonder, as we look at it, not necessarily nationally, but certainly how it's played out here in the state of Wisconsin, has getting exactly what they wanted rendered GOP candidates virtually unelectable statewide. Because you saw the gubernatorial race where, actually, you saw the fall election where, but for what, state treasurer, the Republicans won, or the Democrats won everything. Mm-hmm. And the U.S. Senate race, but there was more at play than simply the issues. And then you had the state Supreme Court race where the liberal candidate who basically ran on a platform of pro-choice was elected by 12 points, a ridiculous margin that we haven't seen the likes of, at least in a Supreme Court race, in quite some time. And it was clear to me that abortion was the issue.
There are anecdotal stories of people who registered to vote who otherwise normally would not have voted in this past election.
And anecdotes are simply that. They're just little snippets, but sometimes they do tell the story. You know, people work polls. My wife works at polls. Yeah. Heard from a lot of other people who said they couldn't believe the stream of people, new people who never had voted before or hadn't voted recently, moved to register to vote and cast their ballot in these elections. And I have to think the majority of them were pushed by that one issue, the abortion issue. Now, the state GOP seems to disagree. And here was the headline in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. After second major loss, Wisconsin GOP leaders say it's about more than abortion. And I'll just read you a line or two. After losing two of the most consequential elections in 2 decades, largely on the lack of abortion access in Wisconsin, top Republicans said this week the party shouldn't change its position on the issue, but instead should find ways to build more effective campaigns. I'll skip ahead here. I don't think we have to sacrifice our principles in order to talk to independent voters. That's Mark Jefferson, executive director of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, talking with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He said, I'm pro-life. I'm proud to be part of the pro-life party, but I think we need to have a message and explain ourselves better than we have. this is not about whether you're pro-life or pro-choice. I just think when you hear groups talk about, like, well, we just didn't do a good enough job on our messaging, that sounds like a loser that is covering their own butts for something. And in fairness, you heard that from the Biden administration when inflation was running rampant and people were talking about their grocery bills are out of control. They're saying, don't believe what's right in front of your own eyes. We just haven't told the story of all the good things happening in the economy.
Right.
So I don't know that the GOP, and again, this isn't to debate the issue one way or another, but I just don't know that the GOP has an imaging issue. I don't know that they have a messaging issue. I think they have a platform issue, and we'll be talking about that more often through the morning here on Wisconsin's Morning News. News about your money this morning in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average. The markets were closed on Friday, so we left things Thursday at 33,485. The NASDAQ at 12,088, and the S&P 500 at 4105. For a deeper dive on the markets, listen to the Annex Wealth Management SWAT podcast. Listen wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
What's wrong?
I've got a problem.
Want to sit and talk about it?
Okay. Ooh, this sofa's nice.
Yes, I know. So tell me.
I can't believe how comfortable it is.
It's pretty sweet, isn't it? Okay, but let's get back to...
Is this the Benjamin sofa from Penny Mustard?
It sure is.
I love the classic look.
The Benjamin is timeless, and it fits with almost any decor. Yes, okay, but let's discuss this problem. I don't see any problem with the Benjamin sofa.
Solid hardwood frame.
Ultra high-density foam cushions.
Hundreds of fabric and leather options.
Okay, enough about the Benjamin sofa.
Whoa!
Why are you so testy? Sorry. I guess I'm dealing with my own problems.
Want to sit and talk about it?
Okay. Ooh, this sofa is nice. The Benjamin sofa, the ultimate in sophisticrafted quality, durability, and elegance, starting at $25.19 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com. Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
At least twice as big
as the one you gave her when you got engaged.
That's the definition of a big anniversary diamond.
Kessler's has lots of ways for you to go twice as big.
We have twice as big diamonds from diamond mines.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of Mother Earth, and the ones that exist in the world today are all there will ever be.
Kessler's also has twice as big created diamonds.
These diamonds come from the fiery heart of a ball of lightning, a miniature star, inside a plasma chamber. It's a wonder to behold.
Kessler's also has twice as big flickering firelight diamonds.
These natural diamonds flicker with all the warm colors of firelight instead of the cold colors of ice. Flickering firelight diamonds are another wonder to behold.
And all of these twice as big diamonds are for her.
The best wonder to behold of all. Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, go to Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weniger Compressor, putting the I Can in American. This is the Marquette University Symphonic Band. It's 5:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, mourning two fallen officers in northwest Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A leak at the Pentagon.
I'm Brandon Snide. From a marathon to a masterful finish in Augusta on Sunday.
I'm Debbie Lozic. Everything's looking great right now. No major delays and standard speeds. I'm Debbie Lozic with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Morning clouds, then increasing sunshine with a high of 70 degrees today.
The White House insisting that the abortion drug mifepristone will not be banned after a Texas judge ruled against the drug's use, citing safety concerns that have been dismissed by by most doctors.
Almost simultaneously Friday, U.S. District Judge Thomas Rice in Washington state issued an injunction to protect the access of mifepristone. President Biden's administration furiously responding, saying the drug's approval was well supported by science and that this challenge comes too late, vowing to preserve access to the drug.
That's ABC's M. Wynn. Nashville officials are poised to reinstate one of the two black Democratic lawmakers expelled by Republicans in the Tennessee House last week over their gun control protest on the House floor. A Nashville Metro Council vote would send Representative Justin Jones back to the seat he was forced to vacate. Memphis officials still deciding on Representative Justin Pearson's appointment as well. China's military continuing large-scale military exercises off the coast of Taiwan. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, according to the mayor of Chautauqua, Wisconsin, everyone in that city is grieving the loss of one of their own. Finn Askin live in the Breaking News Center this morning.
Vince, Chautauqua's Mayor Jeff Martin emphasizing to TMJ4 News that the Chautauqua officer killed on duty was especially engaged with local schools.
This officer was very involved in our schools, and so this is going to be a tough week for Chautauqua kids. It's going to be a tough week for us, but we'll get through, and with God's help and with each other's help.
The Chautauqua police officer and the Cameron officer marked the second and third Wisconsin officers to be killed on duty this year after 0 Wisconsin officers were killed on duty in 2022. Live in the newsroom, Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
The officers were gunned down during a traffic stop. The suspect also killed.
Milwaukee police investigating a shooting that involves a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old happened over the weekend, Sunday morning, near 67th and Sheridan. That's just south of Silver Spring. 14-year-old boy shot but is expected to survive. That 12-year-old now in custody. Investigators looking for other suspects as well.
Taps are running a bit longer at American Family Field now, with alcohol sales extending through the 8th inning. They used to cut it off at the 7th. The switch comes up after league-wide rule changes that have drastically sped up MLB games. TMJ4 News caught up with fans to gauge their reaction.
I think it makes a lot of sense. It's a good way for the stadium to make more money, and I think fans should be all on board.
I think the irresponsibility happens outside the ballpark. If they don't think someone should be buying a beer, those people at the concession stands can make that choice. But I don't think that half an hour difference is going to make a difference.
Opponents of the rule change, which include Aaron Payton from Mothers Against Drunk Driving, says a switch-up is not good.
There's so many different ways you can get home without driving impaired, and that is what we are always looking for people to do, to take that responsibility, take that extra step to make sure everyone gets home safely. If you're going to bring your car and tailgate, make sure one person isn't drinking.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving also encouraging using rideshare services.
Tax day now a week away, April 18th this year, and many Americans will be getting smaller refunds. Dottie Pfister of H&R Block says it's primarily due to the end of pandemic-era tax credits.
The big change, of course, is the lowering of the child tax credit, and of course there's no more gift like we got last year, which was like a big $1,400 to a lot of people.
There are some new tax credits available this year for solar energy products and electric vehicles.
Coming up, where are the undergrads?
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 5:34.
I know it's hard to believe that someone who charges almost 40% less than another can actually do the same job just as well, and maybe even better. But when it comes to our agents, when you give us a chance, you'll see we're pretty good. We know the market and our expertise is second to none. We just charge less. Why pay 6% when a Benefit Realty agent can help you sell your home just as effectively for 3.9%? This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. Well, when we're letting you know that we're here, we're good, and we work for far less than most real estate agents, while still doing a great job for home buyers and sellers all across southeastern Wisconsin. You can believe what we say, or you can base the truth on what others say, like when you read our multitude of 5-star Google reviews, or when we can talk to you about our growth. The numbers don't lie, and they prove that more and more people are finding out the real value that Benefit Realty delivers. Why pay more when you can pay far less for full service? Benefit-realty.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with AccuNet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all three aspects of your financial health, and that will pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Staples stores provide innovative products and services for small business, remote workers and learners, even teachers and parents. Explore more at your local Staples store.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
Bucks don't play now for nearly a week. How the NBA playoffs will shape up for the top team in the league. Brandon Snyder has sports coming up at 5:45.
Get your motor running. Things are revving up for Harley-Davidson. The Milwaukee Business Journal says the motorcycle manufacturer is announcing that a groundbreaking ceremony for its new event space set to be held in a couple of weeks. The hub, as Harley will call it, will be located outside its Milwaukee headquarters, will be transformed from surface parking lots to a community park and event space. This comes after the company launched a remote work policy early in the pandemic, which has left that Juneau Avenue office space largely unused. The hub should open up by the summer of 2024.
Where are all the undergrads? Researchers estimate a decline of 1.2 million students between 2019 and 2022.
Some researchers thought the decline could be blamed on the pandemic, but CBS affiliate WUSA 9 says it's beginning to look more like a trend. In 2019, there were about 16.3 million undergrad students in the U.S. 3 years later, that total had dropped to 15.1 million. It's the largest drop ever recorded in 3 years. Researchers believe students are foregoing a 4-year education for jobs right out of high school. They say making college more affordable and communicating to high school students the earnings difference between those with and without a college degree could help reverse the declining enrollment trend. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
It is a massive first place opening for the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I got this.
The Super Mario Brothers movie has posted the biggest global opening in history for an animated film, surpassing Frozen 2 with $377 million since Wednesday. $204.6 million of that is domestic earnings, nearly $80 million more than it was expected to make.
Got a name for it? Air Jordan.
Opening strong, but with nowhere near those numbers, is Ben Affleck's Air Jordan movie Air, a $20.2 million 5-day bow there. Christopher Watson, ABC News.
A very important preview of the upcoming Mario movie coming at 6:20. We have a couple of experts.
Yes.
Eric's kid and my kid. And what their expectations are.
Absolutely.
And they're high. 5:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac, where the Spring Forward sales event is on. Holiday is the destination to gear up for driving season while you get more Mazda for your money and more for your trade on the new or Mazda certified pre-owned car or crossover that's right for you. Choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way and be ready to drive inspired on the adventures ahead. With Team Holiday on your side, you'll be in the caring and capable hands of Wisconsin's top value Mazda dealer. It's #1 Mazda certified pre-owned dealer and the Badger State's only recipient of the prestigious Mazda President's Club Award, recognizing excellence and exceptional guest care. Accolades are per Mazda North American Operations, Performance, and Zone Sales records for 2022. And they underscore why I and thousands of other drivers are fans of Holiday Mazda. I'm confident you will be too. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
Grilling season has arrived at Sendik's. This week, find natural pork baby back ribs, fresh and never frozen, for just $3.99 per pound. Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. How do we look, Deb?
Looking pretty good right now, Vince. We got light volume across the area, no incidents up on the board, and standard speeds across the entire system. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: morning clouds and afternoon sunshine with high temperatures close to 70 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight with lows dropping into the mid and upper 40s. More sunshine for Tuesday and breezy with highs in the mid 70s. Sunny and windy for Wednesday with a high of 77. More sunshine for Thursday with highs in the mid 70s. And we'll add in some more clouds for Friday with a high of 70 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, our Milwaukee temperature already 50 degrees.
Do the bunny hop, 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 hop. Dance is new creation, it's the new sensation. Do the bunny hop, 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 hop.
Coming up on 541 on this Monday after Easter, the egg roll is today, right? White House, you had that in the news?
Yes, the annual egg roll takes place today outside the White House.
Can't wait to see if the president talks to the Easter Bunny again.
But there's something new with the Easter Bunny this year, I think. They got a new costume, so we'll see if it's more realistic. Looks like the real Easter Bunny.
More realistic than what? It's a giant bunny.
Well, he was thrown by the bunny last year.
He was a little, right, he was like surprised the bunny was there, or I don't know what was happening. It's funny, though, that you mentioned, I hope it's early enough that the young ones aren't up yet. So, you know, moms and dads, if everything about the Easter Bunny is still intact, might want to turn it down just for a second. That's your warning there?
Right? Okay.
It was the bunny that finally did in the kids, our kids anyway, on, like, is this all
the
for
stuff?
real? Right. I remember, I actually remember, I can't remember if my wife said it or me, but one of us was like, hey, do you really think a giant bunny comes into our house and hides candy around here? Like, use your brain. They're like, come on now.
Yeah, so however that one started, like that was going all in on, okay, let's just see what we can get away with.
Yeah.
Let's put all the chips on the table. Just see if they buy this.
The giant bunny.
Well, my favorite are the costumes, though. The phenomenal bunny costumes that are out there that look like they've been in a closet for 70 years.
You sent around, where did you find that? On Twitter?
It's on Instagram.
Instagram, some great pictures of kids with various Easter bunnies. And some of these bunnies they did not look well.
Right, yeah. Why do they always look sick?
One had messed up teeth. They were all over the place. One looked like just like it had a sack over his head.
The costumes are always half dirty. Look like they got driven over.
Right? They were just like maniacal bunnies. I mean, most of your mall bunnies are pretty solid, right?
Yeah, sure.
Little smiley. A couple of them looked evil. And then just the various reactions of the kids. My favorite one was the one kid who just had that look. He was staring right into the camera like,
what's
happening here? Right?
Why would mom do this?
Old enough to know like something wasn't right with this bunny. Is this the one that comes to my house?
Why does this guy smell like steak and cheese?
Other kids just in full out panic mode and crying.
Always. Well, think about that. Like, think about the things we do with our kids. Like, oh, no, you have to sit on this grown man in a costume's lap and smile and enjoy yourself there.
And you don't even, with the Easter Bunny, you don't even ask for, like, specific stuff.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
right.
at least with Santa, there's the process of making your request.
And Santa can talk to you and make you feel better.
Yeah, no, just go talk to that bunny over there. He wants to.
What, squeaks?
Buddy he wants to talk to you. Get up there and you be nice to the bunny. 5:44 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Brandon's got sports next.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Badger Fence. If you listen to the show, you've heard me talk about the beautiful new cedar fence I have installed in my home. Well, a company I trust with that job is Badger Fence. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the Metro Milwaukee area since 1945. Proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A+ rating, as well as a member of the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when choosing a fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. Licensed, bond, insured. They use the best materials, finest materials in the industry with more than 75 years of experience. Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your satisfaction with your fencing project. So whether you want wood, ornamental, chain link, or even PVC, they can choose the right materials for you for your fencing project. When it comes to quality, they are unmatched in the industry and at the most competitive prices. We love our new wood fence. When my wife Kathy and I were shopping around for fence companies, we found the right match with Badger Fence. To set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your project, go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Steve from WTMJ sent you.
time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks wrapped up their regular season with a loss in Toronto on Sunday afternoon to the Raptors, 121-105. Giannis was one of 7 players who did not suit up for the Bucks. No surprise there, as the Bucks had the number 1 seed already locked up. But the team now looks ahead to a hopeful playoff run. Head coach Mike Budenholzer, with a week off for his team, he'll look to get his team healthy, and he's excited about the depth this team holds heading into the playoffs.
No, I mean, the more depth you have, the more versatility you have, options, guys that have been there, delivered. I think that's always great in the playoffs. So I think we're excited, or we feel good about the quality of the roster, the depth of the roster.
Milwaukee will begin their postseason starting on Sunday, April 16th, so they get about a week or so off to get rested up. Their opponent is yet to be determined as they await the play-in tournament winners and losers. Over to the Diamond, where the Cardinals were looking to spoil Milwaukee's Easter plans, but Willie Adames, well, he had a different idea.
This one to left center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Willie Adames. And the Brewers add one more on a home run by Adames.
Bob Uecker on the call right here on WTMJ as Adames laced one to the left in the 5th inning to add to their lead, and the Brew Crew would go on to beat the Cardinals by a final score of 6-1 to earn the win and the series victory, winning 2 out of the 3 games. Freddie Peralta did get the start and got the win, and he was magnificent, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 earned run and striking out 7 along his way for his 2nd win of the season. His start to the season, though, it's, as I've been saying, it's magnificent, but if you ask his manager, it's nothing new from Freddie.
He's been dialed in. He's been feeling great. It's been clearly different than how he finished the season, or how he had to kind of endure the second half, like most of the second half of last year. So in a way, like, not surprised what he's doing right here, because this is I think when he's doing well, this is what it looks like.
Next up for the Brewers is a 10-day West Coast road trip. They will not have a day off in these 10 games. They begin tonight in Arizona. First pitch is set for 8:40 tonight. You can listen to full coverage right here on WTMJ, home of your Milwaukee Brewers, beginning at 8:05.
Coming up, do you want to build a snowman? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 547.
Whether it be dry desert heat or that muggy Midwest humidity, these bats are scorching hot. It's the Brewers and the Diamondbacks in Arizona. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8:05. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional? Worried about the direction of our economy? About making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What keeps you up at night?
My box spring.
Your box spring?
Sure. It supports my mattress, prevents sagging, and gives my bed a little elevation. So yeah, my box spring keeps me up at night.
You're a literal guy, aren't you?
Through Monday, you can literally get a free box spring with the purchase of a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress at Hassellus, or take an equal amount off a new adjustable base.
So nothing else keeps you up at night?
Well, I sometimes lay awake wondering why the word abbreviated is so long. Or if the number 2 pencil is most popular, why is it still number 2? Or do fish ever get thirsty?
These questions are going to keep me up at night.
Get a free box spring with your new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress through Monday at Hassellus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a showroom near you or shop online at hassellus.com. Hassellus, employee free, guaranteed.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in on the roads this Monday morning. What do you have, Debbie?
Not much, Vince. It's a super quiet ride right now. Volume's just starting to wake up a little bit, but overall, everything seems to be moving along just fine. No incidents up on the board. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line. It's 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Son Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Here are the next 5 days, and I think you're going to like them. Morning clouds today, then increased sunshine and a high of 70 degrees. Mostly clear tonight. Our low temperature only drops down to 48. Tuesday, mostly sunny and a high of 75. Wednesday, sunny and windy, high of 77. 76 degrees, your high on Thursday under sunny skies. Friday's high, 70 under partly cloudy skies. Right now, 50 degrees in Milwaukee.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And I'll rise like the break of dawn.
Disney's Frozen is in the middle of its run at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. No show today, but then things pick back up tomorrow. I went Friday, took my daughter, who's now a teenager, but it was so fun to see all the little kids in their Frozen stuff.
Fantastic.
Oh, so many little girls in their dresses.
Right? How was the show?
Show was fantastic. I mean, it's technical wizardry. I mean, the star of the show in many ways is the tech. The set is amazing. There are lights and flashes and sounds. The costume changes. Like at one point, someone's in the costume and there's like a flash of light and they're wearing something else. I don't know how they did it. I'm sitting there, I'm working my brain like, how would they do? I don't know.
Then they got the snowman.
Yep, Olaf the snowman. There were surprises. Both Sven the reindeer and Olaf the snowman, they're puppets. So you have an actor on stage, and at least with Olaf, you can see the guy who's playing Olaf, but he's also operating this, big size puppet who is the snowman.
All right, let's start this thing over. Hi, everyone. I'm Olaf, and I like warm hugs.
Okay, so now that's from the movie Frozen, which does closely mirror, though, the storyline in the musical. Sometimes they change things up or whatever. No, you're getting the story Frozen that you know and love. I talked with Jeremy Davis, who plays Olaf in the show here in Milwaukee.
There are a lot of extra things, there's more music. There are a lot of new songs. I mean, you'll still hear all the songs you love, but you get a lot of extra ones as well. A lot of really great new songs.
So we will hear all the songs we love. We'll hear "Let It Go."
You'll hear "Let It Go." You'll hear "Love Is an Open Door." You'll hear "Fixer Upper." Yeah, all the songs you know and love are there. Plus a lot of great new ones.
So how about for your character Olaf? How does one become a snowman? Like I'm sure that's quite a case study for theater class.
Yeah, well, the way we do it on stage is with puppets. We have two puppets in the show. Sven, the reindeer, is one of them, and Olaf is the other. And I every night I have a costume. I'm fully visible, so you see me up there as well as the puppet, and we just go through the show together.
Man, that's a whole other level of skill, though. I think that's really interesting because there are a number of shows. I mean, Avenue Q comes to mind, and others where that is a whole different layer and a different type of acting because you are both the character, but you're also operating the puppet.
Yeah. It was the first time I'd ever done any puppetry, so it was definitely a skill I had to learn. But it's also one of the things that makes the role really fun to play. It's this little extra thing I get to do. And I'm never alone on stage. I always have a partner in crime in Olaf that is helping me along.
You know what I love about a show like Disney's Frozen is you're going to bring a lot of young people into the theater, and for many of them, it's maybe going to be their first theater experience, and you have the honor of delivering that to them.
That's right. That's another really great thing about this job is that we are the introduction of theater to a lot of young people. We acknowledge that in our pre-show announcement, actually. The announcement that plays before every show does take a moment to say welcome to all our theater goers experiencing theater for the first time. We find that to be a very important part of this journey for us.
We're talking with Jeremy Davis. He plays Olaf in Disney's Frozen, playing now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. So your wife is on tour with you as well. She is in the cast.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It's the best. We met doing a show 13 years ago, but we haven't worked together since. Working together and touring the country together, it's just beautiful. You know, we've both toured separately, and my wife Kristen often says, like, we'll be going through a city, and she'll say, "Oh, I remember being here and wishing that I was here with you, and now we are. Now we're here together." So it really is lovely, and it's wonderful to be on stage together too.
Tell me a little bit about your thoughts in Milwaukee. You've been here for a few days now. You're going to finish out the run this week. You enjoying your time here?
Yeah, I like it here. I played here a long time ago. It's been quite some time. But yeah, I really like the feel here in Milwaukee. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from North Dakota. And we landed, and it just felt very, very comfortable and familiar to me, the feel of it all. And people are so considerate here. You know, you just walk around and people smile and say hi, and the tone of the town is really nice.
Jeremy Davis playing Olaf in Disney's Frozen, playing now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Thanks, Jeremy. Great speaking with you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
He is really fun if you've never seen a show done that way. So like we said, he's back there and there's Olaf, and your eyes go back and forth. And even my daughter said, I thought it'd be distracting, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't know who to look at.
So he makes facial expressions too?
Yeah, he is acting out the part, but also the snowman's right in front of him.
Yeah.
Very fun, heartwarming show, and actually it comes in at about 2 hours total show time, maybe a little bit more with the intermission.
Oh,
so
a little short.
For kids, like,
it's a good time.
Highly accessible.
Yep, that's good length.
Their first Broadway experience, it's out there for you. 8 shows left starting tomorrow night. MarcusCenter.org for times and tickets. Time for the business headlines this morning. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sari Lesk.
Jackson Grill could soon reopen in Milwaukee under new ownership. The previous business owner closed the restaurant last year, citing increased costs and staffing challenges. Milwaukee real estate firm Three Leaf Partners buys land to build 247 market-rate apartments in West Dallas. The business purchased a 3-acre parcel for $1.8 million. And Milwaukee nonprofit Meta House plans to create a $32 million campus in Glendale that would more than double its capacity. The organization provides a residential drug and alcohol treatment program for women. I'm Sari Lesk with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
I'm with the Associate Director of Hunger Task Force, Matt King. Matt, tell me about your organization's mission.
We operate a food bank that provides healthy food absolutely free of charge to people across Wisconsin.
And as your local office technology partner, James Imaging Systems is there to assist you and your organization.
Absolutely, it's really important to work with other local businesses that give back to the community.
I imagine operating a statewide food bank requires the help of a lot of special people.
We actually rely on the help of over 15,000 community volunteers every year.
That's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work.
People can get involved in whatever way feels most comfortable to them. They can give their time, they can give their funds, and they can give their voice.
And for those interested in helping, what's the first step?
People can go to our website at www.hungertaskforce.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Attention, attention! More superheroes are needed. Current Electric is growing and hiring service and commercial electricians, solar panel installers, and customer service representatives. Current Electric offers 5-star tech experience with training, coaching, and support, along with competitive pay and benefits. Apply at currentelectricco.com/careers. That's currentelectricco.com/careers. Current Electric has been serving Milwaukee since 1983 and is an equal opportunity employer.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage, ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit buytheyard.net. That's buytheyard.net.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
We're back in the desert, and this time it's the real deal.
Hit in the air to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Garrett Mitchell!
The Brewers take on the Diamondbacks for a 3-game series, starting tonight at 8:05 on News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Monday, April 10th. Our top story, tragedy in northwestern Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Pentagon leaks.
I'm Brandon Snide. The best team in the league just keeps on winning in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great out on the roads. We got volumes just starting to pick up a little bit, but really no delays out on the roads. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic.
Morning clouds today, then increasing sunshine on our way to a high of 70 degrees. Mostly clear tonight. Low temperature only drops to 48. Right now, we're at 50 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning.
The Barron County Sheriff's Department paging Mayo Clinic ambulance. You requested Highway 8 SS for an officer-involved shooting. Time is 15:39.
Tragedy in northwestern Wisconsin over this past weekend. 2 officers killed in the line of duty in Barron County. That was Saturday.
The shooting took place between the neighboring communities of Chetek and Cameron, around 2 hours east of Minneapolis. A Chetek police officer was conducting a traffic stop when a suspect shot at the officer. A second officer from Cameron arrived and exchanged gunfire with the suspect. The Wisconsin Department of Justice confirms both officers involved were killed, along with a suspect who later died at a local hospital. The DOJ has not released the identity of those involved as they continue their investigation. Patrick Kane, WTMJ News.
2 officers, one of them from Chetek. The mayor there, Jeff Martin, tells TMJ Foreign News that he was deeply involved with the community, including local schools.
This officer was very involved in our schools, and so this is going to be a tough week for Chetek kids. It's going to be a tough week for us, but we'll get through, and with God's help and with each other's help.
Those 2 officers killed in Barron County this past weekend mark the second and third officers to be killed on duty this year in the state.
Milwaukee police investigating a shooting involving a 12 and a 14-year-old over the weekend. Police called to the scene 67th and Sheridan, that's just south of Silver Spring Drive. That was early Sunday morning. The 14-year-old boy was shot, is expected to survive. The 12-year-old was taken into custody. Investigators also believe there's another suspect.
The Pentagon is reviewing the validity of images posted on social media that appear to show classified documents. These pictured images seem to detail U.S. and NATO aid to Ukraine. They could also have been altered or used as part of a misinformation campaign. CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland says Russia does have a long history of conducting deception.
This will raise real concerns with the Allies, as it appears the United States has also been doing some kind of intelligence gathering on them as well. And it will further cause, I think, concern, particularly amongst the so-called Five Eyes, who we share intelligence with.
Yeah, could the U.S. have been spying on other members of the Five Eyes, which include the U.K., Canada, Australia, and New Zealand?
2 federal judges issued dueling rulings that could impact access to abortion medication. The first ruling from a judge in Texas seeks to invalidate the FDA's approval of the abortion pill mifepristone. CBS's Jared Hill.
Protests broke out over the weekend in response to the Trump-appointed judge's ruling. It says the FDA improperly approved the medication 23 years ago, ignoring, quote, legitimate safety concerns about the drug. The Department of Justice says it will appeal the ruling, which was not set to take effect until the end of this week.
Second ruling was from a judge in Washington state. That judge ruled the pill should remain available.
Faculty and staff at Rutgers University are set to go on strike today after a marathon bargaining session over the weekend failed to come to an agreement. The governor of New Jersey now calling for the sides to meet at his office today in order to hash things out.
Coming up, roll out the eggs. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:04.
Everyone associates the coming of spring with the aroma of flowers. But even before the first hyacinth or crocus emerges, the first hint of spring smells like worms. Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And maybe it's just the farmer in me, but I swear, if you put your ear to the muddy ground after the snow has melted, you can smell and hear the worms at work, moving the earth around, signaling something is different, something new, yet ageless. Mother Nature cycles brings hope. Like the first day you see those little nubs on the trees. Everything whispers, it's gonna be all right. I'm not here to sell you anything today. No trying to convince you to call us, buy from us, nothing like that. I just wanted to remind you that with all that's going on in the world, there's an order to things. What appeared to be dead returns to life. Spring is doing her thing. Happy spring from Team Austin. Online at teamaustin.com.
I guess one of the biggest sacrifices that I think we made starting Penny Mustard was personal time.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Yeah, we just lived, ate, and breathed work all the time for years. Yep. And moving from a town where I knew a lot of people, I was going to school in Eau Claire and kind of living the college life, to moving to Milwaukee and work all the time where I knew nobody. We didn't know anybody down here. Yep. And it took us a long time before we knew a lot of people down here. Well, we were working so much. And we were working a lot. Yeah. And that's hard, especially when you're in your younger 20s. Yeah. That's when you're supposed to be partying. I do remember, I think I was 31 before I actually stayed out till midnight on New Year's Eve. Holy cow. Because New Year's Day is a big day, and you were on the sales floor, and you can't stay out till midnight and do what you got to do the next day. That was like a milestone in my life where I actually stayed out till midnight because I didn't have to be at a store the next day. I was 31 years old already. That's impressive. And embarrassing. Well, probably.
See more at pennymustard.com.
Taxes are due. Have you filed yet? Don't worry, Jackson Hewitt is racking up the assists. They will get you filed or an extension before the deadline. Beat the crowds by going to Jackson Hewitt today.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
I mean, the homestand almost couldn't have gone better for the Brewers. Now they're on the road. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 6:15.
Fire danger conditions for the southern half of Wisconsin considered to be very high, according to the state. The DNR says conditions capable of rapid spread of fire once ignited. The feds say fires started within these conditions can be difficult to control.
Avalanche dangers locking down ski resorts in the American West. And in other places, the snow won't stop. In Vermont, 221 inches. At Stowe Ski Resort, 337. At Vail, Colorado, over 700 inches of snow this season. But the 877 inches in Alta, Utah tops them all. Elise Preston from CBS News.
Now, a new fear, the big melt.
We're dealing with spring wet slides as opposed to winter cold slides, which can be almost as damaging.
It's the same worry in California's Sierra Nevada mountains. Residents in Mammoth Lakes are shelling out up to $20,000 to remove the towering snow, easing themselves of winter's tight grip this spring.
The White House will keep Easter festivities rolling today.
The White House will host its annual Easter egg roll today. It's a tradition that dates back to 1878. This year's theme is Eggucation, celebrating teachers like First Lady Jill Biden, who's been an educator for more than 30 years. The South Lawn will be transformed into a school community with all kinds of educational activities for kids. About 30,000 people are expected to attend. But the White House says it's also debuting a new Easter bunny. Apparently, the costume we've seen for decades was a loner. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
And what was unavailable to the White House? Isn't that like, even if it is a loner, isn't that a standing order? Like, hey, just so you know, we always rent this out to the White House.
Bob was playing hardball this year.
Right. Somebody else snuck in there right away. It's like, I don't know. That's going out to these guys.
I didn't realize you guys needed it.
Right. We needed it every year. What happened? 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You can give them the same old, or you can surprise them with something unique from St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Store at a bargain. Almost new, but really cool. The thing about thrift store gift shopping is that you never know what you'll find, but when you find it, you'll know it's right. That's what makes it fun. And if you just can't choose, gift cards are always available at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Old National Bank is asking businesses to get old. But first, they have questions.
Who runs my business if I get old?
You do. You can get old and remain young.
Is that possible?
With a commercial bank as good as Old National, yes.
What will it feel like to get old?
Well, business owners describe a feeling of euphoria, having local decision-making and committed relationship bankers.
Okay, one old guy coming up.
Introducing Old National Bank, where business relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Let's check in with Debbie Lozica at 610 here this morning. How's the traffic, Deb?
It's looking pretty good. A few more cars out there now, but nothing major to slow us down. Travel times are looking good across the board. No major delays. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: morning clouds and increasing sunshine by this afternoon. Temperatures close to 70 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight mainly clear with lows dropping into the mid and upper 40s. Mostly sunny for Tuesday and breezy with highs in the mid 70s. Sunny and windy for Wednesday with a high of 77. Sunshine and breezy for Thursday with highs in the mid 70s. And we'll add in some more cloud cover for Friday with a high of 70 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Milwaukee temperature at 49 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
6:11 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Monday morning. Eric, what's the worst thing you can do in the journalism business?
Not respond to an email?
Said the guy who's in charge of some people. Yes, okay. All right, there's that. There are a number of things that you can't do, right, in our
Miss
line
a
of
deadline
work.
is a big one.
That's right up there, and that's exactly where I'm going. I mean, obviously, you can't be wrong on information or misrepresent things or whatever, but a tenet of, particularly in broadcast and in print as well, your deadline is your deadline is your deadline. Can't miss your deadline. Well, our guy Jason Smith, I'm going to call him out, but just because it's funny. Jason had an unfortunate learning incident because he is still a senior over at UWM, and we've been using him. He's one of our favorite guys here, does great work, but he's been doing our fish fry reports. And the other week, I think it was the week you were off.
Correct.
And he was supposed to come in with the fish fry report, and something had happened. I'll tell you what it was, and it's relatively benign. But you know when you get a text message and it just shows up on your preview screen before you open it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yes. And it's like the first couple of lines.
Yeah, it's just the first couple lines. Yeah. So he was supposed to be on the show later in the morning, and I get this text at 5:06 a.m. What's up, Vinny? Huge screw up on my end. And then the face palm emoji. I went to Left's Lucky Town in Tosa, but as I... And then it cut off there. And I'm like,
what happened? What happened at Lev's?
And I'm like, are you still there? Are you trapped?
Did you wake up outside somewhere?
Right. Do you not know where you are? Are you at someone's house?
Are you trapped?
You don't know where you... All I remember was I was at Left's, and now I don't know where. Well, I mean, it turned out Left's was the restaurant that he was going to feature on the fish fry.
Fish fry.
He went there, and all the video he recorded, gone.
Oh, that's
all
awful.
His interviews, all his stuff. He had done a phone update, and it screwed up everything. And he like I'm on the cloud. I'm trying to pull this stuff off the cloud, but it wasn't happening. And it turned out to be no big deal. And again, I'm not throwing him under the bus because he missed it. Just because that text, all I saw, yo, Vinny, I went to Left's and... ... And that's not probably the first time that's been texted to someone. Hey, listen, I messed up. I was at Left's last night, and what? But all's well that ends well, and looking forward to Jason's graduation and his continued employ with us here at WTMJ. Brandon's got sports coming up next.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Hello, baseball fans. Jeff Levering here, calling the action with the amazing team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And what a roster we have. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Wow, what a smooth glide. Pella's sliding windows are incredibly easy to maneuver, wider than they are tall. They glide horizontally, letting in lots of natural light and unobstructed views. And that roll? It's a double play. Pella's premium roll screens operate like magic. Close the window and the screen rolls away completely out of sight. Now that is slick. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Pella Reserve patio doors offer virtually unlimited sizes and custom colors, and they're backed up with the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Pella sure is one heck of a 5-tool player, and you can bring any number of their all-star innovations home for 0% for 48 months when you order by April 30th. Visit PellaWI.com for this amazing deal.
Certain restrictions apply.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often, because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After 10 days and 9 games to start their season, the Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in the National League. Raise your hand if you had that on your bingo card. Well, after only producing 5 hits on Saturday night, the Brewers were led by Willie Adames and Christian Yelich, and they helped bring out the offense and the cheesehead.
Christian Yelich, first pitch swinging. It's a drive to center. O'Neill is back at the track. It is gone! Yelich's first blast of the season. He's got 3 hits today, and the Brewers lead it 4-1.
Jeff Levering on the call right here on WTMJ as the Brewers go on to take care of those annoying St. Louis Cardinals for the win and the series win, defeating them by a final of 6-1 to win the early series 2-1. Freddie Peralta did get the start and the win, and he was amazing, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 earned run and striking out 7 on his way to his second victory of the season. Next up for the Brewers is a 10-day West Coast road trip beginning tonight in Arizona. First pitch is scheduled for 8:40. Over to the NBA, the number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks wrapped up their regular season with a loss in Toronto on Sunday afternoon, 121-105. Bobby Portis led the scoring for the Bucks with 16. Giannis was one of 7 players who did not suit up for the Bucks, as the team now looks ahead to a hopeful playoff run after clinching the top seed.
Credit to the players to finish this season the way they did, to have, I think us improve in a lot of areas. Our defense is something that we hang our hat on, and individually a lot of guys, played well, collectively played well, and now it's, time to get ready for the postseason.
Coach Bud there following the loss in Toronto. Milwaukee will begin their postseason on Sunday, April 16th. Their opponent is yet to be determined as they await the winners of the NBA play-in tournament. And finally, over to golf. Following some ugly weather over the course of Friday and Saturday that saw canceled play, and starting the day 4 shots back on Brooks Koepka, Jon Rahm used a 30-hole marathon finish on Sunday to storm back and win the 87th Masters tournament by 4 shots with the victory in Augusta. Rahm secures his second major title and now officially moves into the number 1 spot in the world.
All the makings of a blockbuster. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total approach to building wealth that includes taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other personalized elements. This approach allows you to receive advice that is aligned with your unique goals and always in your best interests. Why not give your wealth a second look? Visit creativeplanning.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. A couple years ago, my knee was really acting up. As an athlete, I've played through pain before, but this was getting to the point where I could not compete in the sports that I love to play. I decided to check out Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, see what we could do about that. Best decision I could have made for my athletic future. First of all, no pressure to have surgery. That was really important to me. I wanted to go in there and see what my choices for treatment were. I ultimately did choose to have a procedure. I was in and out in just hours. I was surprised at how quickly I was back in action. Very little pain, very little swelling. I recommend meeting their doctors for whatever is bugging you. Visit orthowisconsin.com today.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What keeps you up at night?
My box spring.
Your box spring?
Sure. It supports my mattress, prevents sagging, and gives my bed a little elevation. So yeah, my box spring keeps me up at night.
You're a literal guy, aren't you?
Through Monday, you can literally get a free box spring with the purchase of a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress at Hasselus, or take an equal amount off a new adjustable base.
So nothing else keeps you up at night?
Well, I sometimes lay awake wondering why the word abbreviated is so long. Or if the number 2 pencil is most popular, why is it still number 2? Or do fish ever get thirsty?
These questions are going to keep me up at night.
Get a free box spring with your new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com. Hasselus. Employee free, guaranteed.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at KohlerServicesWI.com. Debbie?
All right, not looking too bad right now, Vince. Everything's moving along very well. Volume starting to wake up a little bit more, but for the most part, not seeing any heavy patches as far as any kind of delays are concerned. We're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High temperatures in the 70s through the week. Morning clouds today under increasing sunshine at a high of 70 degrees. Mostly clear tonight with low down to 48 right now at 49 degrees in Milwaukee. .622 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So the new Mario movie is out. Eric, in a moment, has some staggering box office numbers.
Come on, Mario! Our big adventure begins now! Ah! Get it out! Get it out! Get it out!
I can't believe it. So this is the story of Super Mario.
Just
and
a video
Luigi.
game.
There it is. And Princess Peach et al.
Yeah, all of them. Bowser's in it, too.
Now, they did a Mario movie a long time ago that was a flop, right?
Yes,
Or it was bad.
Like Bob Hoskins was in it. Just
It was live action, people.
and it was not good.
So this is cartoon animation, like computer animation.
And it's breaking records.
I got this.
The Super Mario Brothers movie has posted the biggest global opening in history for an animated film, surpassing Frozen 2 with $377 million since Wednesday. $204.6 million of that is domestic earnings, nearly $80 million more than it was expected to make.
How about that?
$80 million more than expected.
So what we're trying to figure out is, where is this coming from? Are we just in a desert of awesome movies at the moment, where this is just the first one in a while that people are excited about?
This is as good as it gets, Mario?
I can't figure it out, because my kids, all three of them separately, have made comments about wanting to see this movie in the theater, which is just a little bit unique for them. I asked Bryn about it. She's 11. You told me you wanted to see the Super Mario movie, right?
Yeah,
Why?
because I like Mario Kart.
All right, so
There it is.
Because of Mario Kart, maybe a little bit more.
Because we never really go to movies. We only occasionally will go to a movie, and you specifically asked me to take you to this movie.
And Eli and Noah.
Well, yeah, they said something too, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why this movie?
Because it seems good.
Yeah.
Like the trailer seems exciting.
Ooh, exciting trailer.
Seems exciting.
You know, Greg had made a comment that the movie actually looks like the game. Like, so all the games, it almost feels like you're in the action.
Right, and like all of the elements of the game are part of the story.
Yes.
Max Vitrano, our tech and gaming correspondent here on Wisconsin's Morning News, seems to agree with Bryn. So are you optimistic this is a good film? Because you're a huge Mario fan.
I'm sort of mid, because the studio that makes it is known for making absolute garbage. But, like, it actually looked pretty good from the trailers that I saw.
Is there precedent? What about the previous Mario film or films?
It is universally considered an absolute travesty.
This is the live action with the two dudes?
Yeah, and everyone likes it because it's so absolutely awful that, like, it is absolutely hilarious.
But the hope is that this is actually good?
I believe that is the hope.
What are your hopes?
I hope that it's good. I hope that it's a fun movie.
Is it gonna be?
I sure hope so, but there's no real telling with these, honestly.
What story would be told here?
I'm really not sure, honestly, because there was a lot of Princess Peach in the trailers, like a lot more than I feel like there would have been if it was just like she gets kidnapped at the start. So I'm not completely sure what the story is going to be.
What do you want it to be?
I have no idea, honestly. I feel like they could do just about any story with this, because like they probably can't go with the original Mario formula because that's just such a shallow plot. Like, there's plot at the beginning where Princess Peach is kidnapped, and there's plot at the end, she gets saved and Bowser is beaten, but there's nothing...
Whoa, spoiler!
Well, there's nothing that happens in the middle of that for, like, a complicated story, so it would be hard to do a direct adaptation of anything.
All right, so there you have it from Max Vitrano.
All right, so RottenTomatoes.com.
How do we do?
Audience members say 96%. Critics say 56%. Well,
that's about right.
It's nowhere near as thrilling as turtle tipping your way to 128 lives. The Super Mario Brothers movie is a colorful, albeit thinly plotted, animated adventure that has about as many Nintendos as Nintendon'ts. Not sure what that means.
You see, you get it? Nah.
Okay. So it sounds like it's just not much of a plot, just a lot of stuff going on.
But see, this is back to the argument we were having even about the Oscars. It's like, what's a good movie? A movie that everybody goes to and just enjoys watching? Or does it have to be like strange and weird or
it doesn't have to be strange and weird, but does it
have to take you on some existential journey, or can't you just go there and enjoy?
So you're suggesting that Super Mario Brothers should go up for an Academy Award?
Yes, Academy Award, and I haven't even seen it yet.
Wahoo!
Time for news about your money this morning. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, Dow Jones Industrial Average closed on Thursday. Remember, markets were closed Friday at 33,485. We left the NASDAQ at 12,088 and the S&P 500 at 4105. For a deeper dive on the markets, listen to the Annex Wealth Management SWOT podcast. That's SWOT. Listen wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go, shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
QC Kinetics patient Diane Richardson saw her brother-in-law have surgery for pain in his elbow.
My brother-in-law, after that surgery, had his arm in a sling for almost 6 months, extensive PT, pain medication, a lot of restrictions of what he could not do.
So when Diane's husband, Greg, had a similar problem, she encouraged a different treatment, regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics. And the experience was like night and day compared to his brother.
After 6 months, nothing. He hasn't felt any pain, and that has been 2 years since he's had treatment.
Plus, no drugs and no downtime.
He was literally out golfing when he wanted to and doing whatever he wanted to. It was probably 9 months before my brother-in-law got back out on the golf course, and my husband was on the golf course the entire time. And he was so elated. He said, Diane, game changer.
Before you have surgery for that joint pain, get a second opinion. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Coming up on 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, tragedy in northwest Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Bilstad. Leaks at the Pentagon.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Bucs' regular season is over. Next up, their chase for another title begins this week.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great out on the roads. Volume picking up a bit as your Monday morning gets started. Everything is moving along well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Complaint department is closed in the storm team forecast through the week. High temperatures in the 70s. Today, morning clouds yielding way to more sun.
The Department of Justice now launching a criminal investigation into the leaking of those sensitive Pentagon documents that showed up on social media last weekend. ABC senior White House correspondent Mary Bruce with more.
The Pentagon is now trying to contain the fallout of all of this. Top officials over the weekend reaching out to allies and partners, trying to reassure them. This is, we are now seeing an international blame game going on. Ukraine is pointing a finger at Russia, accusing them of trying to sow doubt and discord, while Russia is pointing a finger at the U.S.
The White House responding to that judge's ruling last week, saying the FDA should not have approved the drug mifepristone more than 20 years ago. The Biden administration says the approval was well supported by science and that the challenge to the drug comes way too late. About 9,000 teachers and researchers at Rutgers University in New Jersey are set to walk off the job. They'll go on strike in about 2 hours. They have been working without a contract for nearly a year. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, 2 officers shot and killed in Barron County over the weekend. That's northwest Wisconsin, according to the mayor of Chautauqua. Everyone in that city grieving the loss of one of their own. Finn Askin is live in the Breaking News Center with more.
Then Chautauqua's Mayor Jeff Martin emphasizing to TMJ4 News that the Chautauqua officer killed on duty was especially engaged with local schools.
This officer was very involved in our schools, and so this is going to be a tough week for Chautauqua kids. It's going to be a tough week for us, but we'll get through, and with God's help and with each other's help.
The Chautauqua police officer and the Cameron officer marked the second and third Wisconsin officers to be killed on duty this year after 0 Wisconsin officers were killed in 2022. Live in the newsroom, Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
In Milwaukee, a 12-year-old boy arrested following a shooting over the weekend. A 14-year-old in the hospital. This happened near 67th and Sheridan, just south of Silver Spring. Early Sunday morning, 14-year-old boy shot, expected to survive, now in the hospital. That 12-year-old taken into custody, but investigators believe there is another suspect as well.
You may have noticed if you've been out to the yard already this season, the taps are running a bit longer at American Family Field now, with alcohol sales extending through the 8th inning. The switch-up comes after league-wide rule changes that have drastically sped up MLB games.
Not everybody's happy about this, including Aaron Payton of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, who tells TMJ4 News that the switch-up makes having a post-game driving plan all the more important.
There's so many different ways you can get home without driving impaired, and that is what we are always looking for people to do, to take that responsibility, take that extra step to make sure everyone gets home safely. If you're going to bring your car and tailgate, make sure one person isn't drinking.
Ballpark officials will monitor the situation, and if extended sales result in more alcohol-related misbehavior, the Brewers will reassess the situation.
Tax day just over a week away. It's April 18th this year, and many Americans will be getting smaller refunds. Donnie Pfister of H&R Block says it's primarily due to the end of pandemic-era tax credits.
The big change, of course, is the lowering of the child tax credit, and of course there's no more gift
like we got last year, which was like a big $1,400 to a lot of people.
Now, there are some new tax credits available this year for solar energy products and electric vehicles.
Coming up, the Tigers make a comeback.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Rest easy knowing your savings are secure and earning you more with a Wintrust MaxSafe account. With MaxSafe, you get up to 15 times more than the standard FDIC personal protection. That's right, 15 times more protection with the ability to secure up to $3.75 million per account holder. Now that's banking as it should be. Call 833-MaxSafe to talk with a local Wintrust banker today. That's 833-MaxSafe. Peace of mind is just a phone call away. Banking products provided by Wintrust Financial Corp Banks. Member FDIC. See FDIC.gov for deposit insurance coverage rules.
I guess one of the biggest sacrifices that I think we made starting Penny Mustard was personal time.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Yeah, we just lived, ate, and breathed work all the time for years. Yep. And that's hard, especially when you're in your younger 20s. Yeah. That's when you're supposed to be partying. I do remember, I think I was 31 before I actually stayed out till midnight on New Year's Eve because I didn't have to be at a store the next day. I was 31 years old already. That was like a milestone in my life. That's impressive. And embarrassing. Well, probably.
PennyMustard.com.
I'm with the Associate Director of Hunger Task Force, Matt King. Matt, tell me about your organization's mission.
We operate a food bank that provides healthy food absolutely free of charge to people across Wisconsin.
And as your local office technology partner, James Imaging Systems is there to assist you and your organization.
Absolutely, it's really important to work with other local businesses that give back to the community.
I imagine operating a statewide food bank requires the help of a lot of special people.
We actually rely on the help of over 15,000 community volunteers every year.
That's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work.
People can get involved in whatever way feels most comfortable to them. They can give their time, they can give their funds, and they can give their voice.
And for those interested in helping, what's the first step?
People can go to our website at www.hungertaskforce.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Bucks don't play now for nearly a week. How do the playoffs shape up for the NBA's top team? Brandon Snyder Sports at 6:45.
Get your motor running. Things are revving up for Harley-Davidson. According to the Milwaukee Business Journal, the motorcycle manufacturers announced that a groundbreaking ceremony for its new event space outside its offices is set to be held in, quote, a couple of weeks. The hub, as Harley will call it, will be located outside its Milwaukee headquarters and will be transformed from surface parking lots to a community park and event space. You may recall they made this decision to launch this new area because of all the remote work policy that they've been doing since the early in the pandemic. It's left that area on Juneau Avenue largely unused. Harley expects the hub to open by the summer of 2024.
Fewer kids are heading off to college. Researchers estimate a decline of 1.2 million students, undergraduates, between 2019 and 2022.
Some researchers thought the decline could be blamed on the pandemic, but CBS affiliate WUSA 9 says it's beginning to look more like a trend. In 2019, there were about 16.3 million undergrad students in the U.S. 3 years later, that total had dropped to 15.1 million. It's the largest drop ever recorded in 3 years. Researchers believe students are foregoing a 4-year education for jobs right out of high school. They say making college more affordable and communicating to high school students the earnings difference between those with and without a college degree could help reverse the declining enrollment trend. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Endangered wild tigers seem to be making a comeback of sorts in India. The BBC's Julie Candler.
The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi says the number of wild tigers in the country has almost doubled over the past 20 years. He was announcing the latest tiger census data at a ceremony in the southern state of Karnataka to mark 50 years of a conservation policy. The country's 3,000 tigers now account for 75% of the world's wild population.
3,000 tigers. A century ago, there were about 100,000 wild tigers roaming across Asia.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk, heard Saturdays at 10, right here on WTMJ.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio. Offer unbiased advice with Wealth Metric and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes, in person or online. It's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz. Weniger Compressor salutes business owners who put the I can in American while treating their customers right.
Call up the boys at Weniger Compressor.
Let's check in on the roads. Debbie Lazica, what do you see out there?
Not much. It is a pretty quiet ride out there. No incidents to report at the moment. Travel times are clear across the board, and volume is super, super light. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: morning clouds and afternoon sunshine with high temperatures close to 70 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight mostly clear with a low of 48 degrees, more sunshine and breezy for Tuesday with highs in the mid-70s, sunny and windy for Wednesday with a high of 77, more sunshine for Thursday with a high of 76, and adding in some cloud cover for Friday with a high of 70 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
49 degrees our temperature in Milwaukee. I don't know if it's paradise, but we do have 2 tickets. Want to send you to a show this spring at Milwaukee Repertory Theater. God of Carnage opens this weekend at the Rep.
God of Carnage is a play that is set in Brooklyn with 2 sets of parents that are meeting to discuss an injury that's happened to one of their children, and it's caused by the other couple's child. In the course of espresso and clafouti and lots of alcohol, it starts off as a civil conversation that turns into kind of a big battle royale where the masks come off and the id comes out.
That's the director of the show, Ryan Quinn. A comedy, God of Carnage, Tony Award-winning play. This issue probably resonates with a lot of people, right? Parents talking out something that happened between their kids. Sounds pretty relatable, right?
Oh, yeah.
Kid comes home telling a story. Well, this kid did this to me. You've had that conversation, right? You're like, I don't know. Like, do we call the parent? We don't even know them.
Right. And is my kid making this up a little bit or emphasizing something?
If it really happened exactly as my kid said, that's pretty bad. We should probably talk to them, but maybe it didn't. And then if I call, then am I that parent? Like, your kid did this to my kid. I don't want to be that.
Oh, man.
So you debate back and forth. So that's what the show is about. So these parents have it out, and again, director Ryan Quinn says things don't go well.
I think it's so funny when we watch people who are these like civilized adults start to act like children, right? That big question of who are we going to be when we grow up, and we end up being actually the 3 and 4 and 5-year-old selves at the very end of it. And I think it's just so funny to watch that happen.
They say it's funny. The show is God of Carnage, opens this weekend at Milwaukee Repertory Theater, and we've got 2 tickets for caller number 5. Some seating and show restrictions do apply. 2 tickets for God of Carnage. Caller number 5 on the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620, gets the pair. Talk to Greg Pancake Hill, producer of the program, to get the tickets. 6:43 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Milwaukee mattresses are made with the finest materials and support systems. Innerspring, latex rubber, individually pocketed, or gel memory foam choices give you every comfort option. Take a test rest and you'll feel the quality and see a price tag marked hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Why? because they come direct from our factory and sold at our Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you. The Ken Michaels Furniture line is built to last. You will not find sturdier, better-made sofas, chairs, or sectionals because we have them built with the most advanced S3 coil spring suspension. So instead of using twine, the strength of preformed steel wires lock our double cone coils together to give you more support and a lifetime of durability. Furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. You can take a look at our selection at kenmichaelsfurniture.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to adventknows.com.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks wrapped up their regular season run on Sunday afternoon, losing to the Toronto Raptors by a final of 121-105. Bobby Portis led the scoring for the Bucks with 16, and Jay Crowder added 13. The Bucks will now wait to find out who their first-round playoff opponent is this week, with their first game scheduled for Sunday, April 16th. The time is yet to be determined. Despite some weather delays and cancellations, John Rahm stormed back on Sunday after a 30-hole marathon to finish and win the 87th Masters tournament by 4 shots over Brooks Koepka. And to the diamond, where the Milwaukee Brewers took the game and the series from the St. Louis Cardinals by a final of 6-1. Willie Adames had a big day, going 3 for 4, batting in 3 runs with a solo homer. And Freddie Peralta was masterful once again, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 run and striking out 7 batters on his way to his second win. Next up for the Brewers is a 10-day West Coast road trip beginning tonight in Arizona.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
After 9 games and 10 days, the Milwaukee Brewers are the best team in the National League. Let's have some honesty here. Raise your hand if you had that one penciled in on your Brewers bingo card. Let me start out by acknowledging and reaffirming what I just said. I know it has only been a week and a half. However, how many of you, including myself, really saw this start by the Brew Crew to begin their 2023 season? Series wins against the Cubs and the Cardinals, both teams I hate, along with a clean sweep of the highly talented New York Mets. The storylines, too, they've been interesting to say the least. The freshmen, as they're being called, consisting of Garrett Mitchell, Joey Weimer, and Bryce Strain, have quickly turned into household names throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin. Freddie Peralta looks like he could be an early season Cy Young candidate. Christian Yelich, who, let's be honest, he's under the most scrutiny going into 2023. He has reached base safely in all 9 of the games to start his comeback campaign. The offense is putting the ball in play, something we didn't see over the last 2 years, with runners in scoring position, playing a little bit of small ball in Milwaukee. And speaking of Cy Young, the former Cy Young winner, Corbin Burns, he struggled a bit. But the team, they've stuck together. The players have spoken numerous times about the closeness in the clubhouse that this team has brought into this season, even bringing the Packers cheesehead in for their home run celebrations. And lastly, the bullpen looks like it could be a strong point this season, going against what most thought in going into the season, including myself. I was in attendance Saturday, and it was probably the free Giannis jersey, let's be honest, that they were giving away. But the lines were packed, and the energy in the stadium was palpable. To put it simply, folks are excited about the early outlook in Milwaukee. So, is this just a fun run to begin the season? Or is this a team that can compete in the National League Central? By the early returns, this team, given good health, will be in contention all season long. It should be a fun and energetic summer in Milwaukee. The bottom line, the vibes are good. And yes, it is early. And yes, winning in April doesn't mean anything, but it certainly helps.
Stay in touch. You can reach us on the Old National Bank talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Old National Bank. Get old.
Eric Bilstead here with Wisconsin's Morning News. So the Easter Bunny, Vince, left us a note. after it dropped off its eggs.
Yeah, what do you
It said,
have to say?
"Damn, that garage door looks nice." Yes. J.D. Griffiths, for more than 70 years, J.D. Griffiths has been Milwaukee's premier provider and builder of garage doors. My wife and I just got 2 garage doors installed. We knew it was time. The house is about 20 years old, and the garage doors are all banged up and dated looking. We wanted to upgrade. We wanted things to look nice, so we went to jdgriffiths.com. That's the best way to do it. Just go to the website, jdgriffiths.com. We set ourselves up. We got a free at-home estimate. Ken came over, took a look around, gave us some ideas, left us some swatches, if you will, and we figured out what we wanted, and it was so simple and easy from there. And the best part is J.D. Griffiths doesn't just do new garage doors. They also offer affordable servicing of existing garage doors. If you have an issue, they'll even build you a new detached garage door. It's J.D. Griffiths, jdgriffiths.com. Go to the website, get yourself a free at-home estimate today.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed. Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living.
Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at our May 10th open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Let's check in with Debbie Lazica on the traffic this morning.
Okay, everything's looking great so far. No major delays right now. We've got east and westbound 94 at good clip. Pretty much standard 17 minutes to get from Highway 16 all the way into downtown, so nothing slowing down through there. And the construction zone's looking pretty good as well. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Did get a good review, Eric, from someone on the Old National Bank talking text line. My husband and 12-year-old son went to see Mario yesterday. So the husband thought it was better than he expected.
That's good news.
Some laughs. Kid thought it was fun. Jack Black was good. So positive review for the
Jack
Mario
Black,
film.
He plays Bowser.
Yes. So apparently he sings a love song to Princess Peach. The texter said, I'll watch just for that.
All right, good.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Morning clouds today and increasing sunshine with a high of 70 degrees. Our low temperature tonight only 48. Tuesday mostly sunny, high of 75. Wednesday's high even better, high of 77. Thursday sunshine and 76 degrees. Friday partly cloudy with a high of 70. Right now at 49 in Milwaukee. Coming up on 6:52 on this Monday morning, and this morning, fallout for the state Supreme Court election here in Wisconsin still being measured. Wisconsinites handed the liberal pro-choice candidate a decisive win. It flips the ideological balance of our court from conservative to liberal. Since overturning Roe v. Wade less than a year ago put abortion access sort of back on the ballot, it's certainly changed the political landscape in states like Wisconsin. ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts is with us from Washington this morning. I'm glad we have you, Steve. First time we had a chance to talk since the outcome of the election. You know, the lens I'm looking at this is conservatives finally got what they have wanted for 50 years. They battled for it. They fought for it. Roe v. Wade was overturned. But now we have a state like Wisconsin, traditionally a swing state. Did it possibly render GOP candidates, at least in the short term, unelectable statewide?
I don't know about unelectable because, look, every race is different. But does it is it clearly proving to be a problem for Republicans, not only in Wisconsin, but other swing states around the country? The answer is clearly yes. I think a lot of analysts, including me, underestimated the enduring impact of the Dobbs decision, because it wasn't just that it energized women who, particularly younger women of childbearing age, who saw a looming threat to their own independence and the ability to control their own reproductive system, but it was symbolic of a larger issue. This notion of Republican politicians and Republican judges veering to the right, not just on this issue, but on other issues as well, LGBTQ rights and same-sex marriage and issues of that kind. And it sort of spotlight the core Democratic argument, which is, see, we told you, Donald Trump and his minions are a threat. Look, the energy on the Democratic side does not come from loving Joe Biden. It comes from fearing and loathing Donald Trump. And this issue is powerful in and of itself, but it also has this larger symbolic meaning, which has given Democrats a real cause for energizing their base.
Talking with ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts. So what is the GOP to do then, Steve? Because you have some state party leaders here in Wisconsin saying, well, we don't have a platform issue. It's not the issue. It's just we didn't sell it right. We didn't talk about it right. We need to change our messaging. I don't know that that's enough.
Well, I don't think so, because look, you look at the polls and they're very, very clear. Is it true that a hardcore of conservatives are very pleased with the reversal of Dobbs? They remain fervent pro-life on abortion. That's true. But there's a larger political problem for the Republicans, which is that group is not going to win elections, and they're not going to win elections in swing states like Wisconsin. It takes, in addition to the base, a second layer of somewhat more moderate swing voters, many of them women, many of them young moms, and that's the problem in Wisconsin. It's the problem in Michigan. It's the problem in Pennsylvania. The problem in Virginia and North Carolina and Arizona, the states that are up for grabs nationally. And this is the great problem facing the Republicans. How do you keep the base of your party happy with purebred conservative ideas and reach beyond that base? And in the last election, that proved to be very difficult. It proved to be difficult in 2020. It proved to be difficult in a lot of states in 2022, in states like Pennsylvania. And this is the great fear that a lot of Republican strategists have about Donald Trump. He can keep the base happy. He can keep the pro-life movement very happy. But can he reach beyond that base to the swing voters who decided that judgeship election in Wisconsin? That result has got us, I'm sure it has, some shivers of concern right through the ranks of smart Republicans who say, this is the future. This is a potential future for us in swing states like Wisconsin, because we keep the base, but we're not moving beyond it, and that's political death if you can't do that.
ABC News political analyst Steve Roberts with us on this Monday morning. Thanks, Steve. Interesting perspective.
Anytime, sure.
You know, we look at, Eric, I'm surprised we haven't seen polling. I mean, maybe it's just a little bit too soon. I know Newsroom talked with Charles Franklin over at Marquette University Law School and the polling on that, but it had to be a majority issue driving people to the polls, and we talked about the new registrations in the state as well.
I even saw it where I vote, where typically it's pretty high voter turnout. I saw people registering to vote on that day.
Hard issue, though, if you are in your heart a pro-life conservative, right, and that's what you believe, and that's what, say, you're in a pro-life district, as opposed to statewide, just where you go, the people there elected you to be pro-life, as you say you were. What are you supposed to do then? Just compromise on your values, on what you believe is right, on what the people there sent you to do? Like, it's not an easy question of, well, we'll just pivot our position. Right. Especially for something that's deeply personal, like the abortion issue. It's a tough equation for the GOP, but to date, I don't think they've figured it out. 6:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Business headlines sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sari Lesk.
Residential drug and alcohol treatment provider Maida House plans to build a $32 million campus in Glendale. The project would more than double the Milwaukee nonprofit's capacity. The new owner of Jackson Grill in Milwaukee could reopen the restaurant in the coming weeks. The previous owner closed the business last year as it faced increased costs and difficulties with staffing. And Three Leaf Partners pays $1.8 million for a 3-acre parcel in West Dallas, where the firm plans to build 247 market-rate apartments. The $48 million project would add to the ongoing redevelopment of West National Avenue. I'm Sari Lesk with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Old National Bank is asking everyone to get old. But first, people have questions. Will it take me years to get old?
No, getting old can literally happen in minutes.
Is getting old like a complicated process?
Not at all. Just stop into one of our banking centers or visit our website. We even have an app for that.
Will I look any different after I get old?
You may look happier and more relaxed with a banking partner like us.
Definitely want to get old.
Introducing Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Big trucks can cause big damage. Injuries can be severe and may require a lifetime of care and compensation. Call Gruber Law Offices today. We can help you from the safety and comfort of your own home. Our virtual sign-up process is quick and easy. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
For over 5 decades, a true American band. This is America. Live in concert. An unforgettable evening with America. July 12th, Riverside Theater. Tickets at papstheatergroup.com. America, live in concert.
When it's time for a new lawnmower, buying local is important. Purchasing one from Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment means you're well taken care of after the sale. Their knowledgeable staff handles the warranty and parts, can answer all of your questions, and is available to do tune-ups and repairs. Check out the impressive line of lawnmowers on display at the Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment showroom in Muskego. And tune in to the Fix-It Show this Saturday morning at 7, when an expert from Olson's will answer all your power equipment questions.
You've heard about Purple mattresses. Try it before you buy it at Steinhoffel's.
We're back in the desert, and this time it's the real deal.
Hit in the air to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Garrett Mitchell!
The Brewers take on the Diamondbacks for a 3-game series, starting tonight at 8:05 on News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 7 a.m. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Monday, April 10th. Our top story honoring and mourning the loss of 2 officers in northwestern Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The leaks at the Pentagon.
I'm Brandon Snide. More wins with a side of cheese for the Brewers in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Everything's looking good right now. East and westbound 94 standard speeds through the construction zones on 41 and 43, both looking okay right now. Volume definitely picking up, but no major delays. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
How about this for your storm team forecast? We do have some clouds to start the day, but then we'll see increasing sunshine and a high of 70 degrees. It'll be mostly clear tonight. Low temperature down to 48. Right now we're at 49 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a procession about to get underway in northwest Wisconsin. 2 police officers were shot and killed during a traffic stop in Barron County over the weekend.
The shooting took place between the neighboring communities of Chautauqua and Cameron, around 2 hours east of Minneapolis. A Chautauqua police officer was conducting a traffic stop when a suspect shot at the officer. A second officer from Cameron arrived and exchanged gunfire with the suspect. The Wisconsin Department of Justice confirms both officers involved were killed, along with a suspect who later died at a local hospital. The DOJ has not released the identity of those involved as they continue their investigation. Patrick Kane, WTMJ News.
Happening right now in Barron, dozens of officers and community members are now gathering for a procession for these fallen officers in Barron County. That's set to begin here momentarily. Meanwhile, the mayor of Chautauqua, Jeff Martin, tells TMJ4 News that the officer from Chautauqua was deeply involved in the community along with working with the local schools.
Was very involved in our schools. And so this is going to be a tough week for Chautauqua kids. It's going to be a tough week for us, but we'll get through, and with God's help and with each other's help.
These 2 officers killed in Barron County over the weekend mark the second and third Wisconsin officers to be killed while in the line of duty this year.
Milwaukee police investigating a shooting involving a 12 and 14-year-old over the weekend. Police called to the scene about 67th and Sheridan, that's just south of Silver Spring Drive, early Sunday morning. 14-year-old boy was shot. That boy is expected to survive. A 12-year-old boy is in custody, and investigators believe there is another suspect.
The Pentagon says it is reviewing the validity of images posted on social media that appear to show classified documents. The pictured images seem to detail U.S. and NATO aid to Ukraine. CBS News military consultant Jeff McCausland says Russia also could be involved.
This will raise real concerns with the allies, as it appears the United States has also been doing some kind of intelligence gathering on them as well. And it will further cause, I think, concern, particularly amongst the so-called Five Eyes, who we share intelligence with.
The Five Eyes are the U.S., the U.K., Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
2 federal judges issued dueling rulings that could impact access to abortion medication. The first ruling from a judge in Texas. It seeks to invalidate the FDA's approval of the abortion pill mifepristone. CBS's Jared Hill.
Protests broke out over the weekend in response to the Trump-appointed judge's ruling. It says the FDA improperly approved the medication 23 years ago, ignoring, quote, legitimate safety concerns about the drug. The Department of Justice says it will appeal the ruling, which was not set to take effect until the end of this week.
Second ruling came from a judge in Washington state. That judge ruled the pill should stay available.
Coming up, a new 920.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:04.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert back to report even more home buyers paid over the asking price last month, rising to 50% in the 5-county metro area. 3 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more above that list price. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with the over-asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller some appraisal wiggle room. Telling the seller you're willing to pay over the asking price, even if the house appraises lower, sounds scary because most buyers think they have to fill that potential gap with more down payment. But in the vast majority of cases, AccuNet is showing home buyers how they can offer appraisal wiggle room without bringing a nickel more to closing. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You need to see it to believe it. So if you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
We're looking for that ear-to-ear smile, so we'll do everything in our power to make sure you have one. It's the Semper Fi standard, and we just couldn't do business any other way.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Homestand went about as well as you could have asked for. I guess Saturday night could have been better for the Brewers, but we are on the road. Brandon Snide has a look ahead in sports at 7:15.
We're continuing to monitor a procession that's getting underway right now in Barron County. This is for the 2 officers who were shot and killed over the weekend. One of those officers from Shitek. And right now, we're told that this procession is eventually going to bring the officers to Minnesota. Very emotional scene we just saw now, and I do not know from the feed we were provided from TMJ4 News if this was the police chief or not, but a couple of uniformed officers struggling with their composure as that procession was to get underway.
As we know, from now until burial, the officers will never be unescorted. So any step of the way, whether it's from point A to point B in any step of this process, there will always be one of these processions. You mentioned they're on their way to Minnesota. I wonder, given that this is Barron County, Shitek and Cameron are the officers, Cameron just a little bit north of Shitek, that medical examiner's office would need to be involved. You do need to do autopsies here at this point. It's important for the investigation. I wonder if that's the nearest ME's office, Eric? Could that be possible? Why would we take them to Minnesota?
Given the location, so now they are just getting underway. And think of small town USA right now. So think of a
little Main Street,
yes,
right?
The Main Street with a couple of local businesses, the cafe, and that's what we're seeing right now as this procession just gets underway. There is a lead squad, followed by a couple of other vehicles as well, and they're going to slowly make this trip and this journey. Several plainclothes citizens there as well. Awfully rough. I mean, you're talking about small communities where everybody knows everybody. And the images that we're seeing provided from TMJ4 News, who have crews there on the scene, this as they slowly take off now from the downtown area. and head toward Minnesota. That is a rough scene, seeing the looks of all those faces of those folks there right now.
And a lot of investigative details still have been not made public. I know folks who've been listening to the news are probably left like, what happened? We were told it was a traffic stop, that there was a shootout. The suspect is also dead, and 2 police officers dead from the different communities of both Cameron and Chetek in Barron County. But more investigative details still need to be released today as well. We're on top of it here at WTMJ. We'll follow this procession and bring you those new details as they become available today. News is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more online at sidingunlimited.com.
Integrity. Your home's integrity depends on the roof, on the windows and doors, on the siding. When your home's integrity fails you, you need the people who won't. Siding Unlimited. The dad started a siding company, called it Siding Unlimited, brought up sons Eric and Aaron Brown to be trustworthy, to value their own integrity, and after college to take over the Siding Unlimited biz. The boys expanded Siding Unlimited beyond siding to windows and doors, roofs and decks, your home's integrity factors. Now you can buy those things from lots of people, but I wouldn't. I value the integrity of Eric, Aaron, and the talented American craftsmen that are the Siding Unlimited team. And I'm not just their spokesman. I'm a Siding Unlimited customer. Reliable, truthful, talented, and trustworthy. Winners of many industry awards and customer accolades. They are sidingunlimited.com.
At 7:09, let's get a check on the roads with Debbie.
All right, we got a pretty good ride shaping up. No major delays out there right now. Volume is looking relatively light for the time of morning, and no incidents, so everything is looking good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5K forecast for today: morning clouds and afternoon sunshine with high temperatures close to 70 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear tonight with lows dropping into the mid and upper 40s. More sunshine for Tuesday and breezy with highs in the mid 70s. Sunny and windy for Wednesday with a high of 77. More sunshine for Thursday with highs in the mid 70s. And we'll add in some more clouds for Friday with a high of 70 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Temperature in Milwaukee now 48 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 7:10, the tax filing deadline just 8 days away now. Starting to wonder if you're going to make it.
Don't have enough time. Not a chance. There isn't enough time. Yes, there is.
If you're hearing your taxes are due in about a week and that freaks you out,
I don't think she's going to make it.
there are some steps you should take before hitting the panic button. Here's ABC's Daria Albinger with today's tax tip.
Heads up, procrastinators. I'm Daria Albinger with today's tax tip. The tax filing deadline is almost here, and you're nowhere near ready to file.
If you are not done in time, definitely make the IRS aware. You don't want to panic, and you don't want to ignore your taxes because the IRS has a way of finding you, and they will.
ABC News business correspondent Alexis Christoforos says you have options.
So what you want to do is apply for an extension as quickly as you can. That gives you until October to actually file and get all your paperwork in place. But definitely don't let that deadline come and go without taking action and letting the IRS know you can't do it in time.
Here's something to keep in mind, though. An extension gives you extra time to file, but not extra time to pay. If you think you'll owe, it's best to make an estimated payment to the IRS. You can find more information on irs.gov or IRS to Go, the IRS app. With today's tax tip, Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Tax tips are brought to you by the Neal Group for less stress with the IRS. Visit nealgroup.net, that's NEAL group.net, for a free consultation.
I can make this. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make it.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution. I just finished writing a book about my experiences dealing with the IRS. It is already a bestseller. The IRS is the most ruthless collection agency in the world. They can seize your bank accounts, garnish your wages, and even take your house. The state can deny your professional license as a teacher, nurse, or other occupation. Do you want your employer to know about your problems? My book tells you what you can do so you don't have to worry about them ever again. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you step up and do something. We can help. We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and represent you in tax audits. Make the right choice and go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Matt had just moved into his first apartment and needed furniture to fill it, but he didn't have a big credit line. So I told him about St. Vincent de Paul. There's always a nice selection of gently used furniture there, and sometimes you can find some really cool retro pieces. And the best part is, it's always super affordable. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores for first-time furniture buyers or anyone looking for great deals on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
If you need a new roof, Tri-County Contracting would be proud to put one on for you. But maybe a little work will make your current roof last. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. We've had a lot of snow and ice this winter. Get Tri-County Contracting on top of your house for a worry-free roof tune-up. One price, $650. Full inspection, replacement for damaged shingles, fresh caulking and sealing. It will extend the life of your roof and give you peace of mind. Call Tri-County Contracting for a worry-free roof tune-up today.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept called the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income, or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're 50 or older and want a bigger, better retirement, call Mitch Lyons Wealth to get a free copy of this brand new movie at 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free. Plus, I'll include a copy of my book, Retirement of Steel. And I'll even pay your shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Berghardt.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Milwaukee Bucks wrapped up their regular season with a loss in Toronto on Sunday afternoon, 121-105. Bobby Portis led the scoring for Milwaukee with 16, and Jay Crowder added 13 points. Giannis was also one of 7 players who did not suit up for the Bucks as the team now looks ahead to a hopeful playoff run. Head coach Mike Budenholzer, with a week off, will look to get his team healthy and is excited about the depth this team holds heading into the playoffs.
No, I mean, the more depth you have, the more versatility you have, options, guys that have been there, delivered. I think that's always great in the playoffs. I think we're excited, or we feel good about the quality of the roster, the depth of the roster.
Milwaukee will begin their postseason starting on Sunday, April 16th. Their opponent and the time of the game is yet to be determined as they await the play-in tournament winners and losers. Over to the Diamond, where the Cardinals were looking to spoil the Milwaukee Brewers' Easter plans, but Willie Adames, well, he had a different idea.
This one to left center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Willie Adames. And the Brewers add one more on a home run by Adames.
Bob Uecker on
What
the
did that
call there.
bounce off of out there?
It sounded a lot louder, right? But it was the top of the wall. But I think it hit something in the bullpen.
I love when the long ball bounces off of stuff.
Makes a loud thump. Bob Uecker on the call there. Willie Adames would extend that game to a 3-1 lead, and the Brewers would never look back, beating the Cardinals by a final of 6-1 to earn the win and the series victory, taking 2 out of 3 games at American Family Field. Freddie Peralta did get the start, going 6 strong innings, allowing 1 earned run and striking out 7 on his way to his second victory of the year. Freddie Peralta, though, his start to the season, it has been magnificent. But if you ask his manager, it's nothing new for him.
He's been dialed in. He's been feeling great. It's been clearly different than how he finished the season, or how he had to kind of endure the second half, like most of the second half of last year. So in a way, like, not surprised what he's doing right here, because this is I think when he's doing well, this is what it looks like.
Next up for the Brewers is a 10-day West Coast road trip beginning tonight in Arizona. First pitch is scheduled for 8:40 tonight, and you can listen to full coverage right here on WTMJ, of course, home of the Brewers, beginning at 8:05.
Coming up, do you want to build a snowman? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:18.
Milwaukee Brewers reporter Sophia Minert.
They're going to have a lot to play for here, and we're optimistic.
The closest to the dugout you'll ever get.
Craig always encourages these guys to just be who you are, right? Like, we just want you to be who you are.
Every Monday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45.
It says that your call sign should be owl.
I'm a little underwhelmed.
This is Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. You've heard us toss into Debbie now in the Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Center. So proud to have them as a partner here at WTMJ. Driveway, walkway, parking lot, repairs or complete repaving. This is the quality, family-owned local company that you're looking for. Johnson & Sons does everything in-house. That's so important for your project, particularly with supply chain issues and all that. They're doing everything themselves, from designing your project to mixing their own asphalt. And they're so proud of the work they do, they put their family name on the company. You'll find plenty of Johnsons at Johnson & Sons, but you won't find subcontractors when you hire Johnson & Sons. You get them every step of the way. It's a one-stop shop for projects of any size. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc. member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Stormfisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Grilling season has arrived at Sendix. This week, find natural pork baby back ribs, fresh and never frozen, for just $3.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926, and Debbie from the Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Center.
That's right. It's looking good right now, Vince. We're really not seeing any kind of delays. Volume as usual, pretty typical Monday morning, but for the most part, everything's looking good. No incidents up on the board either, so can't really complain all that much. Hey, be your eyes on the road, though. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda Milwaukee.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast 70s plus the high temperature for the next 5 days. Morning clouds today will give way to sunshine in the afternoon and a high of 70 degrees. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 48. I don't have a drop of rain in the storm team forecast here for the next several days. Tuesday's high 75, Wednesday 77, Thursday 76, and partly cloudy skies on Friday with a high of 70. We are at 38 degrees with a ways to go here in Milwaukee.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And I'll ride like a break of dawn.
You're welcome. That song stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Disney's Frozen. In the middle of its run here at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. No shows today, theater dark on this Monday, and then things pick back up tomorrow and run through the weekend. I took my youngest daughter Friday. We kind of, for the girls, just missed Frozen. Like, they were into it, they watched it, but it wasn't, that's not the one they watched like on a loop.
That wasn't in the wheelhouse, they were a little too old?
Like, just a little bit too old. So they like it, they knew the film, but like for many other families who have kids just a little bit younger than mine. Probably closer to Bryn, your daughter.
Yeah, she was kind of jaded by it a little bit, to be honest. I don't know why. It didn't speak to her, but she did want to go see the musical at downtown.
Well, so did a lot of young girls throughout southeast Wisconsin. It was all Elsa and Anna dresses at the Marcus Performing Arts Center, which was worth the price of admission anyway. All these littles coming in there, finding
wearing
their
outfits.
Seats. Yep, drinking their little soda, kitty cocktail, whatever. There were surprises. I didn't know both Sven the reindeer and Olaf the snowman, they are portrayed as puppets in the theatrical performance. So you have an actor on stage, and at least with Olaf, now Sven is like, he's kind of like wearing the suit almost.
Okay.
So he's like, there's somebody in there, but he doesn't talk or anything. He just kind of runs around. But then Olaf, you have an actor out there, performer on stage operating the puppet.
All right, let's start this thing over. Hi, everyone. I'm Olaf, and I like warm hugs.
And he does deliver those lines. That's like straight out of the movie that I pulled that. But
they say Josh Gad, really?
Yeah, right. But a lot of folks want to know, is the musical the same as the movie that the kids watched? And sometimes they differ quite a bit. In this one, it follows the storyline very closely. And I've talked with Jeremy Davis. He plays Olaf in the show here in Milwaukee.
There are a lot of extra things. There's more music. There are a lot of new songs. I mean, you'll still hear all the songs you love, but you get a lot of extra ones as well. A lot of really great new songs.
So we will hear all the songs we love. We'll hear "Let It Go."
You'll hear "Let It Go." You'll hear "Love Is an Open Door." You'll hear "Fixer Upper." Yeah, all the songs you know and love are there, plus a lot of great new ones.
So how about for your character, Olaf? How does one become a snowman? Like, I'm sure that's quite a case study for theater class.
Yeah, well, the way we do it on stage is with puppets. We have two puppets in the show. Sven, the reindeer, is one of them, and Olaf is the other. And I every night I have a costume. I'm fully visible, so you see me up there as well as the puppet, and we just go through the show together.
Man, that's a whole other level of skill, though. I think that's really interesting because there are a number of shows. I mean, Avenue Q comes to mind, and others where that is a whole different layer and a different type of acting because you are both the character, but you're also operating the puppet.
Yeah. It was the first time I'd ever done any puppetry, so it was definitely a skill I had to learn. But it's also one of the things that makes the role really fun to play. It's this little extra thing I get to do. And I'm never alone on stage. I always have a partner in crime in Olaf that is helping me along.
You know what I love about a show like Disney's Frozen is you're going to bring a lot of young people into the theater, and for many of them, it's maybe going to be their first theater experience, and you have the honor of delivering that to them.
That's right. That's another really great thing about this job is that we are the introduction of theater to a lot of young people. We acknowledge that in our pre-show announcement, actually. The announcement that plays before every show does take a moment to say welcome to all our theater goers experiencing theater for the first time. We find that to be a very important part of this journey for us.
We're talking with Jeremy Davis. He plays Olaf in Disney's Frozen, playing now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. So your wife is on tour with you as well. She is in the cast.
Yeah.
What is that like?
It's the best. We met doing a show 13 years ago, but we haven't worked together since. Working together and touring the country together, it's just beautiful. We've both toured separately, and my wife Kristen often says, like, we'll be going through a city, and she'll say, "Oh, I remember being here and wishing that I was here with you, and now we are. Now we're here together." So it really is lovely, and it's wonderful to be on stage together, too.
Tell me a little bit about your thoughts in Milwaukee. You've been here for a few days now. You're going to finish out the run this week. You enjoying your time here?
Yeah, I like it here. I played here a long time ago. It's been quite some time. But, yeah, I really like the feel here in Milwaukee. I'm from the Midwest. I'm from North Dakota. And we landed, and it just felt very, very comfortable and familiar to me, the feel of it all. And people are so considerate here. You just walk around and people smile and say hi, and the tone of the town is really nice.
Jeremy Davis playing Olaf in Disney's Frozen, playing now at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. Thanks, Jeremy. Great speaking with you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You'll enjoy it. 8 shows left starting tomorrow night. MarcusCenter.org for times and tickets. News about your money this morning, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets were closed Friday. We left the Dow Jones Industrial Average at 33,485, the NASDAQ at 12,088, and the S&P 500 at 4105. For a deeper dive on the markets, listen to the Annex Wealth Management SWAT podcast. Listen wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking number 1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at geisdoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
It's 7:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, a procession underway for 2 fallen officers in northwest Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Bilstad. Leaks at the Pentagon.
I'm Brandon Snide. The best team in the league just keeps on winning in Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and volume picking up, meaning slowing down a little bit through the stadium interchange, westbound 94 all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side, pockets of heavy traffic right around 76th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Nashville officials are poised to reinstate one of the 2 Democratic Tennessee lawmakers expelled by their Republican colleagues last week over protesting for tougher gun control measures on the State House floor. A judge today in the Nashville Metro Council would send State Rep Justin Jones back. Expelled Memphis State Rep Justin Pearson could be reappointed at the Shelby County Commission meeting later this week. The White House vowing to fight that Texas judge's ruling on the abortion drug mifepristone.
This is the only drug that's specifically approved for abortion. It's taken with another drug, misoprostol, which is also used to treat things like stomach ulcers. Now, what the conservative plaintiffs have argued, and they've argued this for years, is that they believe that the FDA is politicized, and they say that the FDA has been hiding some of the adverse effects from this drug. Now, the FDA says that's simply not true, that they have not seen any safety concerns.
ABC's Ann Flaherty, the White House Easter egg roll happening this morning in Washington. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, there is a procession now underway in northwest Wisconsin for the 2 officers who were killed over the weekend. WTMJ's Finn Askin is live in the Breaking News Center.
Yeah, Vince, a very, very sad scene in Barron, Wisconsin this morning. That procession just got underway towards Minnesota, but before it left, our partners at TMJ4 News captured just the gut-wrenching faces of so many people in that community. People hugging and comforting each other. Others were just sobbing as officers walked to their vehicles. One woman was crouched on the ground, crying as 3 others consoled her. Just a lot of grief on the scene. And like we've been saying all morning, these are small, tight-knit communities. Between Cameron and Chautauqua, the population is just under 4,000 people. Everyone is comforting everyone, and you can just tell everyone is sharing that grief together. Live in the newsroom, Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
In Milwaukee, a 12-year-old boy is in custody. A 14-year-old is recovering from a gunshot wound from a shooting over the weekend. This happened near 67th and Sheridan, just south of Silver Spring. Happened Sunday morning. 14-year-old boy is expected to survive. 12-year-old in custody for that shooting, but investigators believe there is other suspects as well.
If you've been watching the Brewers this young season, you know the games are going a lot quicker. Well, the taps are running a little bit longer now at American Family Field. Alcohol sales extending through the 8th inning. They used to cut it off in the 7th. Switch comes up after the league-wide rule changes that have drastically sped up MLB games.
Opponents of that rule change, which include Aaron Payton of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, tell TMJ4 News that the switch-up makes having a post-game driving plan all the more important.
There's so many different ways you can get home without driving impaired, and that is what we are always looking for people to do, to take that responsibility, take that extra step to make sure everyone gets home safely. If you're going to bring your car and tailgate, make sure one person isn't drinking.
Ballpark officials are going to monitor the situation, and if extended sales result in more issues or alcohol-related behavior, then the Brewers will reassess.
There's a new lawsuit against the Department of Defense focused on veterans who were exposed to toxic chemicals at a military base known as K2 in Uzbekistan. CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge.
Military surgeon Gordon Peters was deployed to K2. He says he witnessed the potential health hazards firsthand.
We found this field scattered with enriched uranium. I mean, it was just aerosolized, and we took Geiger counters out there, and they lit up.
Multiple sources say they were told yellow cake was identified at the base.
Now, at least 1,500 service members passed through that base, 15,000 passed through the base. They used to support the mission in Afghanistan. Vets suing say public records don't explain the high rates of rare illnesses they're experiencing.
Coming up, let's get ready to roll.
News is sponsored by Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells, your grown-up getaway.
It will be an evening of nonstop laughter with the Latin Kings of Comedy, featuring Paul Rodriguez.
The only good thing about getting old is that now I can sit and watch television, and I know what all those pharmaceuticals are for.
For one night only, Friday, May 5th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
If you're going to get married, guys, go home and see her mother. Get a good look at the future. And you ladies go see his father. Find out where that belt is going to be.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster. It's the Latin Kings of Comedy, featuring Paul Rodriguez. Friday, May 5th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Must be 21 to attend show.
Some people refer to her as the coal miner's daughter. To us, she'll be remembered as Always Loretta. An evening with Emily Portman as Always Loretta. Saturday, April 22nd, 7 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets are on sale now and available through Ticketmaster and the Casino Gift Shop. Always Loretta, a Loretta Lynn tribute show. April 22nd at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Must be 21 to attend concert and enter the casino floor.
My partners had told me I should get my knee replaced. I was in my 40s, and I decided that I wouldn't do that.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog, who found regenerative medicine years ago and became a believer.
It changed my life around. It improved me to a point where I was able to jog again.
That's when Dr. Herzog switched his focus from surgery to helping his patients with natural biologics.
I've treated at least 5,000 patients. I believe your body has everything it needs to heal itself.
Today, you'll find Dr. Herzog at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine that can give lasting pain relief with no downtime, no drugs, and no surgery.
I have patients coming up to me that I did 10 years ago saying, Doc, my elbow's still working great. I'm playing tennis 3 days a week.
Call QC Kinetics now to explore alternative ways to deal with your pain. It's a free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
If you're looking for the finest of furniture finishing and heirloom restoration, by golly, it's Mullally. Mullally Furniture Finishing and Repair. Serving everywhere. Quality counts. MULLALY. Finishing.com.
Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Brewers Extra Innings host Dominic Cotroneo is our guest on Brewers 360. That's coming up at 7:45.
Fire danger conditions for the southern half of Wisconsin. Right now, the DNR says they're considered to be very high for dangerous conditions for fires. The DNR says conditions capable of rapid spread of fire once ignited. The feds say fires started within these conditions could be difficult to control.
Things are revving up for Harley-Davidson. According to the Milwaukee Business Journal, the motorcycle manufacturers announced that a groundbreaking ceremony for its new event space is set to be held in a couple of weeks. They're going to call it the Hub. It's going to be right outside the Milwaukee headquarters and will be transformed from a surface parking lot to a community park and event space. Comes after the company launched a remote work policy early in the COVID pandemic, which has left the Juneau Avenue office space largely unused. Harley-Davidson expects the hub to open by summer of 2024.
An annual White House tradition takes place today, the Easter egg roll on the South Lawn.
It's a beautiful day here in Washington, and children are enjoying a festival-like atmosphere on the White House South Lawn, sampling treats at the annual Easter egg roll, a tradition that dates back to 1878. 30,000 people are expected to attend this year's event. First Lady Jill Biden, a community college professor, is continuing the education theme she introduced last year, transforming the grounds into a school community. There's a reading nook, a talent show area, a field trip to the farm, and a physical education zone. Hollywood celebrities, professional athletes, and beloved cartoon characters are taking part in the activities and hanging out on the South Lawn taking pictures with children. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Thus rendering all the educational components a complete non-factor. Oh, no, we're going to do some learning. Where's the Easter Bunny at? Hey, there's that guy from Nickelodeon.
Hey, look, let's reel an egg.
News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10, right here on WTMJ.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio. Offer unbiased advice with Wealth Metric and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes, in person or online. It's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Let's check in on the roads here. 20 minutes to 8. What do you have, Debbie?
Not much. Just a little bit of a backup along 94, east and westbound. The westbound side's going to start to slow down just before 35th Street, all the way through the stadium. Lets up around Mitchell Boulevard. And the eastbound side starts to slow down around 76th Street, and that actually starts to lighten up once you get past Hawley Road. For the most part, though, everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: morning clouds and increasing sunshine by this afternoon. Temperatures close to 70 degrees, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight mainly clear with lows dropping into the mid and upper 40s. Mostly sunny for Tuesday and breezy with highs in the mid 70s. Sunny and windy for Wednesday with a high of 77. Sunshine and breezy for Thursday with highs in the mid 70s. And we'll head in some more cloud cover for Friday with a high of 70 degrees. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
48 degrees right now in Milwaukee. Host of Brewers Extra Inning, Dominic Cotroneo, will join us from Arizona momentarily here on Brewers 360. Just want to update you on the developing story out of northwest Wisconsin. We do have a large police procession escorting the bodies of the 2 fallen officers from this weekend in Barron County. And Eric, your information is they are headed to Minnesota.
Yes.
This is purely my thought on it without confirmation is you would have, in a police investigation of this nature, an autopsy would be necessary. Barron County may not have its own medical examiner's office, so the procession could be to an ME that will do the autopsies, perhaps in neighboring Minnesota.
TMJ4 News has a reporter there. We know they're about 90 miles east of the Twin Cities, but to get to Minnesota, obviously not as far. And right now it appears that both officers were put in the same vehicle, both caskets put in the same vehicle, as they now are being escorted to Minnesota. And still very little known about what exactly led to this shooting on Saturday.
Shootout where the suspect was killed after a traffic stop and then the two officers killed as well. Neighboring communities, Chautauqua and Cameron, they're both in Barron County. And folks know the area like Chippewa Falls, Eau Claire. This looks to be about 45 minutes, maybe an hour north of there in northwestern Wisconsin. On top of that for you, we've got Brewers 360 that's coming up next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel. Our travel advisors can help you travel anywhere in the world. Whether you're looking for a group tour or prefer to customize your own unique experience, we have the expertise to craft your next extraordinary journey, including some amazing options from our partners, Globus Tours, Princess Cruises, Disney Vacations, and Avalon Waterways, just to name a few. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made this summer, and Fox will get you there.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We're the lawn and garden experts, offering unbeatable prices on supplies to build out your dream yard. Like 36-pound bags of estate weed and feed, just $32.99. Rewards members get a free $10 Blaine's gift card with $80 spent on estate fertilizer. Select 20-pound bags of estate grass seed, $10 off. Plus, get a free $10 Blaine's gift card when you buy select bags of Hill's Science Diet dog or cat food. Shop our new Blaine's Farm and Fleet store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Now open in New Berlin.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Behind a big day at the plate for Willie Adames, which saw 3 runs batted in, including a solar homer. The Milwaukee Brewers took down the Cardinals by a final of 6-1 to earn the series win, 2-1. Freddie Peralta got the win and the start, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 earned run and striking out 7 on his way to his second win in as many starts. Next up for the Brewers is a 10-game West Coast road trip beginning tonight in Arizona.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. A grave inaccuracy was just uttered by me earlier today. I said Dom was in Arizona, but Dominic Catronio is here in his house. Right. Sorry, pal. I know you'd probably rather be.
Oh, well, with the weather we're getting this week here, man.
That's true. You're good.
I'm fine. I've got a tea time later this week. I'm good to go. I'm ready to rip.
All right. So, first week of the season went okay.
Yeah, to say the least. Best record in the National League. The rookies are playing well. The pitching is there. The bullpen's scoreless. I mean, it's, the kind of start that you can always oh, well, if this goes right, this goes right. Like, literally everything has gone right for the Brewers.
So for a West Coast trip, obviously that means late nights, yada, yada. Is there any reason why a West Coast trip would be better earlier in the season versus later?
There could be a reason for it. There is another 10-day trip later in the season as well in August. But this is kind of a good test again. Something I've been saying all offseason long is staring at these first 6 series of the year. They're real series. This is a real test to come out of the gate. And the fact that they've been passing with flying colors. The Diamondbacks just won 3 out of 4 against the Dodgers, beating them up. They're a very good young team. Then obviously the Padres are the Padres. The Mariners made the playoffs last year. And then you come home for the Red Sox. And, I don't care what anyone says about them shedding payroll. They're still the Boston Red Sox. So this is a heck of a test, and you'll get some team camaraderie, I imagine. We'll hear some more stories about that, but it's a real thing, definitely, for sure.
So when you look at this season, Dom, to start 7-2, pretty good. Like you said, best in the National League. What are some things that have surprised you to start this season for the Milwaukee Brewers, good and bad?
For the good, it has to be the bullpen.
Sure.
I mean, it was the number one question mark. 23 1/3 consecutive scoreless innings now, going back to last Sunday in Chicago. I mean, you've got Devin, and the way that Matt Bush ended his year last year, but everyone has really stepped up.
Yesterday was a little scary.
Hey, still got a zero.
Got a zero.
But and Hobie Milner's been great. Peter Strzelecki, ever since he arrived in the big leagues, as Craig Counsell put it yesterday. I guess the downside is, where the heck's Corbin Burns? It's kind of surprising that his first 2 starts have been bad, but I think, to me, that's encouraging because Corbin's going to rebound. You know that. So the fact that he's been your worst starter in the first 2 starts, okay, Corbin will figure it out. It'll be A-okay.
How about Saturday night at the Yard? 40,000 plus in attendance. Brandon,
don't remind me. The only game that they lost this week.
So
it's your fault. There.
The only donkey of the season so far this year. Brandon was there. So
my
is
kids
he
are
banned?
looking at me like, "Why are we here? This sucks."
Right, and there was nothing fun about Saturday night's game.
Well, I want to ask you then, with your kids, with the new product, faster game, with things moving along, with the pitch clock and everything. How did they react to it? How's your family?
They loved it.
Yeah,
they loved it. So my youngest is 7, and he was still into it, into the 3rd, 4th, which is better than last year. Last year was the 2nd, looking up at the ceiling. When are we leaving? But the fan experience in general is better.
I want to give a shout out to everybody with the in-house, with the 414 force, and then all that they've been doing with the in-between. Jeff Levering and I were talking yesterday. It's almost like a rave in here between innings, where it's just there's always energy. Yes. There's always something to point out.
And if you're taking a family, shout out for the 414 value menu. Incredible. You can save a ton of money.
Yeah, the Sunday Fun Day thing is a great thing that the Brewers have got going on. It's something that the whole family come. Parking's included on it. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs. Old school stuff. I love it.
So they're 7-2, best in the majors, other than the Tampa Bay Rays. You are the host of Brewers Extra Innings. I'm assuming people are still finding things to complain about.
Yeah, I think I look at it
because they always do.
Saturday night, right? Christian Yelich had a really bad game, and then yesterday he goes 3 for 5, a homer, 2 hits. It's just baseball's hard, y'all. Yeah. So, and it's a long season. We're still kind of conditioned in this basketball NFL mind of every game matters. Oh my God, it's life or death. But it's 162 games. It's going to be okay. There's going to be 500 plate appearances for these guys. Plenty to figure out.
So who are we going to play in the World Series?
I would say
I'm on the other end of the spectrum.
I'm a big. I think Seattle's really good. I think they've got the pitching. They've got the young superstar in Julio Rodriguez. Seattle's really, really freaking good, and they're led by a cheeser. So they're led by Scott Service. Shout out to lacrosse and baseball. This is a heck of a year to be a baseball fan.
A cheeser?
Yeah.
That's a new term.
He calls it himself. I mean, he's
calls
a huge Packer
himself
fan
a
too.
cheeser.
He's an owner like yourself.
Not a cheesehead. He's a cheeser.
Yeah, he's an owner like yourself.
An owner, yes. Yeah. Dominic Cotroneo, host of Brewers Extra Innings. We hear you tonight?
Yes, late night, and then you can hear it in podcast form if you don't want to stay up with me.
Good to see you, buddy.
But we'll stay up.
Good to see you guys.
7:50 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Mark Tauscher joins us next.
Just because the buzzer hits doesn't mean the game ends. Highlights.
Holiday back to Giannis, and Giannis will staple it through with a 2-hand jam.
Reaction.
Bucks have been very good. So we're talking about 3 months now that the Bucks have been the best team in the league, and the Bucks and the Sixers have been the 2 best teams by a wide margin.
Your thoughts.
Take care of the glass. We need to do that, and we did it in the 4th quarter.
Nobody knows the Bucks like Justin Garcia. Catch Bucks Talk after every game, right here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
It's Vince Vitrano here for Tri-County Contracting. One of the news stations today was just doing a story on rooftops and the damage that they bore over this freeze-thaw winter that we just had. Some of those roofs not looking too good in the area. But maybe you don't need a new roof. Nobody likes to hear those words. Give my friends at Tri-County Contracting a call. They'll come up, and one of the things they do is first they inspect your whole roof. And something they can offer you is what they call the roof tune-up. You get the full inspection, and then no matter what the size of your roof, it's $650, period, one price for all the repairs you need. They'll inspect your entire roof. They'll replace up to 10 damaged or missing shingles. They refasten any loose shingles. hammer down those popped-up nails. Then they install new stuff, the rubber collars that go around some of the venting. They'll caulk around the chimney flashings and exposed roof nails, caulk around the vents and water heater pipes as well. Just make sure that everything is in order. You might not need a new roof. You might just need a few repairs to extend the life of your roof. Call my friends at Tri-County Contracting, 262-217-8150, 217-8150, or start at TriCountyContractingWI.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Storm Fisher with Storm Fisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional worried about the direction of our economy, about making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Securities America Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Arbor Point Advisors LLC. Storm Fisher, Arbor Point, and Securities America are separate entities.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 and Layton Avenue, 23rd and Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Let's get a check on the roads here with Debbie Lazica.
All right, delays are kicking in now. 94 eastbound, we're up to about a 9-minute ride between the zoo and downtown. Slowing down right about at 76th Street through the stadium. The westbound side slowing down at about 27th Street through the stadium. You're looking at an 8-minute ride there. Also a little bit heavy now on northbound 41 as you're making your way up from about Blue Mound Road all the way up to just past Swan Boulevard. Just a couple of extra minutes there as well. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Don't know how you could ask for more for this, second week of April. Morning clouds and increased sunshine today with a high of 70 degrees. Mostly clear tonight, low temperature stays as high as 48 degrees. Then mostly sunny on Tuesday, high 75. Wednesday's high 77 with sunshine. Thursday sunny and 76 for the high. Partly cloudy and a high of 70 degrees on Friday. Right now at 48 in Wisconsin.
Idea Man.
I have to say, I was listening to you with Craig. It was really awkward calling him coach.
Innovator.
You know what I did? It was a golf shot. I chunked it.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
Anytime Vinny makes a mistake, I got to crush him immediately in real time, which I don't feel great about, but hey, we're 2 for 2 on the week already, Vince.
It's time for Tausch. Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
7:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Mark Tauscher on the morning show, sponsored by your Southeastern Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Tausch, your kids into Mario? Have you been forced to see the Mario movie yet?
I have not been forced to see the Mario movie, but we're still an old school house, so we do the Mario Kart and big battles over. Normally, it's Mario or Luigi that you want to be as the driver, and then you get the super blooper car because it's the fastest, but a big battle for Yoshi.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Eleanor is a monster Yoshi fan, and she is convinced the only way she can win races is with Yoshi, and I don't seem to care, but as siblings typically do, if you want something, you're going to have to pay to get it, and that's so the battle lines on Easter were Yoshi, if you want Yoshi, you have to give me a bag of your Haribo gummies. And so that was the battle line yesterday.
Well, now I would imagine you have some new trading capital because the Easter Bunny must have come and delivered bountiful supplies.
Can someone explain to me when the Easter Bunny got so dialed in? Is it with the digital transformation of gifting and everything else? But I recall back in the old days, you'd get you'd get one of those Reese's peanut butter eggs, and then maybe you'd get a couple of hard-boiled eggs. I don't know. I can't even remember exactly what we got when we were kids, but I see the Easter Bunny dropping off slippers and baseball batting gloves and stuff that really fits in. I just am wondering, where on earth the Easter Bunny's timeline has definitely sped up and has gotten a lot better as far as how to selectively give gifts.
I can't put a finger on it, but I married into that.
Yeah,
the Easter Bunny was offering a lot more than I was used to in my house.
Yeah, the Easter, it's really incredible. And then I started thinking yesterday as we were sitting around, and there's Peeps and there's all these other things that are just god-awful for you. What's worse, Halloween? Where do you end up eating more candy, Halloween or Easter? I think Easter has surpassed Halloween because at least on Halloween, you're inundated and you start selectively saying, okay, you can have one or two pieces. Easter, it's kind of a free-for-all. There's cake, there's torts, there's cookie cakes, and then you still get to your Easter basket. I think the sugar intake on Easter is actually worse than Halloween.
Well, and it's the morning. I mean, you look up and you're like,
yeah, you got a whole
I think
day.
My kid just ate like a half bag of jelly beans and whatever else. You weren't really paying attention, and all of a sudden they're like,
buzzing around.
Yeah, you're not paying attention until they're running, and then they collapse out in there because of the sugar rush that wear it off, and then you throw them some more eggs or whatever other things. But yeah, I just think Easter, it's about Christianity. It's about all the great things in life, and then sometimes you look back and you say, man, I don't know how we've gotten to the point where this is all this, and ended up being more sugar than Halloween. I don't think it's a sneaky deal that I don't think we actually looked at until you see the wrappers and see the damage that's been done around your house over the course of a day.
Well, see, now that goes back to the earlier point. You can't eat batting gloves. So maybe the Easter Bunny's onto something there.
Let me tell you something. You eat enough sugar, maybe you will eat batting gloves.
Who knows how it turns out. All right, Tosh, we'll talk again tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sari Lesk.
Plans by Three Leaf Partners to add 247 market-rate apartments in West Dallas advance with the purchase of a 3-acre parcel for $1.8 million. Construction on the apartments is planned to begin in the summer of 2023. Milwaukee nonprofit Meta House plans to more than double its capacity by creating a $32 million campus in Glendale. The organization operates a residential drug and alcohol treatment program for women. And Jackson Grill nears its reopening in Milwaukee. The restaurant's new owner has been completing upgrades to the building on West Mitchell Street. I'm Sari Lesk with Milwaukee BusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
This report sponsored by Evans Transportation Services, one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sound of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Good luck to the Brew Crew from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? Louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
EasyCater presents We've Got Your Back, Up Singers.
Backup Singers. So right before this important meeting, I get a text from EasyCater that the restaurant lost power. No electricity. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She said sarcastically. But EasyCater was like, don't worry. No sweat. They got another restaurant to fill the whole order. The whole order. And I was like, are you kidding me? But in a good way. Inflection is everything.
Problem with your order? EasyCater has your back with over 100,000 restaurants.
EasyCater.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
They got your back.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
We're back in the desert, and this time it's the real deal.
Hit in the air to right and deep. Get up! Get up! Get up! Gone for Garrett Mitchell!
The Brewers take on the Diamondbacks for a 3-game series, starting tonight at 8:05 on News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8:02, it is 48 degrees. The high today, 70. The week looks glorious. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Here's Debbie Lazaga.
All right, looking pretty good right now for the most part. Got a few pockets of heavy traffic. 94 eastbound starts to slow down right about at 76th Street through the stadium. Right now it's about a 9-minute ride from the zoo into downtown. Same thing for the westbound side, though. Those delays start around 35th Street. All the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We got northbound on 41 hitting the brakes just a bit from Wisconsin Avenue up past Swan Boulevard, but the southbound side's looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A procession is underway in northwestern Wisconsin this hour for 2 officers killed over the weekend, both shot during a traffic stop on Saturday. The suspect later died at the hospital. WTMJ's Finn Eskin live in the Breaking News Center.
Eric, a very, very sad scene in Barron, Wisconsin this morning. That procession now underway towards Minnesota. But before it left, our partners at TMJ4 News just captured the gut-wrenching faces of so many people in that community, people hugging and comforting each other. Others were just sobbing as officers walked to their vehicles, and one woman was crouched down on the ground crying as 3 others consoled her. Just a lot of grief on the scene, and like we've been saying all morning, these are small, tight-knit communities. Between Cameron and Chautauqua, the population is just under 4,000 people. So everyone is just comforting everyone there, and you can tell everyone is sharing that grief together. Live in the newsroom, Finn Eskin, WTMJ News.
12-year-old boy in Milwaukee is in custody. A 14-year-old recovering at the hospital after a shooting over the weekend. This was early Sunday morning around 5:30 near 67th and Sheridan, just south of Silver Spring. That 14-year-old is expected to recover and survive. The 12-year-old boy, again, in custody. Investigators believe there are other suspects as well. The Pentagon says it is reviewing the validity of images posted on social media that appear to show classified documents. The images seem to detail U.S. and NATO aid to Ukraine. CBS News military consultant and retired U.S. Army Colonel Jeff McCausland.
This will raise real concerns with the Allies, as it appears the United States has also been doing some kind of intelligence gathering on them as well. And it will further cause, I think, concern, particularly amongst the so-called Five Eyes, who we share intelligence with.
Yeah, those Five Eyes are the U.S., the U.K., Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. 2 federal judges issued dueling rulings that could impact access to abortion medication. The first ruling from a judge in Texas seeks to invalidate FDA's approval of the abortion bill. Mifeprestone, CBS's Jared Hill.
Protests broke out over the weekend in response to the Trump-appointed judge's ruling. It says the FDA improperly approved the medication 23 years ago, ignoring, quote, legitimate safety concerns about the drug. The Department of Justice says it will appeal the ruling, which was not set to take effect until the end of this week.
The second ruling came from a judge in Washington State who ruled the pill should stay available. The judge appointed by then-President Barack Obama. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
If you want to be sure that you're getting financial planning advice you can trust, work with a fiduciary. A fiduciary should be someone who acts as a steward for you. It means they treat your assets as if they were their own, that they protect them as if they were their own, and that they try to grow them as if they were their own. Now you can take this for what it's worth, but I'm doing all I can to run a firm you can trust. That's why we're a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm that doesn't work for anyone but our clients and focuses only on their best interest. By being a steward, being a fiduciary to help our clients reach their financial goals. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Hey, moms, dads, grandparents, if there's no school today, you need an outing. WTMJ's John Mercure here with a pretty cool idea. Treat your kids to a safe and super affordable day of fun at the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant and Entertainment Center in Hartford. The Mineshaft is the coolest, most family-friendly restaurant with a $2 million game room. That's over 140 interactive games, including the most popular like Typhoon, Avengers, Ticket Ring games, and the easiest games for your little ones. Your kids will love the Mineshaft, especially your teenagers. Get a huge 18-inch pizza for just $14.99. Your wallet's going to love that. Easily feeds a family of 4. Grandparents, take your grandkids to the Mineshaft today. They'll love you more than ever. What a fun day. If your kids do have school, take them after school for tons of fun. The Mineshaft is on Main Street in beautiful downtown Hartford with a kids menu that starts at just $3.99. No reservations needed. It's big food. It's big fun. Just walk in. Mineshaftrestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mineshaft.
You had a big day at the plate for Willie Adames, who batted in 3 runs. The Milwaukee Brewers found their way back to their winning ways again, taking down the St. Louis Cardinals by a final of 6-1. Freddie Peralta got the start and the win, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 earned run and striking out 7 on his way for his 2nd win of the year. Next up for the Brewers is a 10-day West Coast road trip beginning tonight in Arizona. The Milwaukee Bucks wrapped up their regular season with a loss in Toronto on Sunday afternoon, 121-105. Giannis was one of 7 players who did not suit up for the Bucks as the team now looks ahead to a hopeful playoff run. Milwaukee will begin their postseason Sunday, April 16th. Their opponent, though, is yet to be determined. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Well, looking pretty good for the most part. We do have some delays, though, on east and westbound 94, as you might expect. Right now, we got backups on the eastbound side starting around 70th Street through the stadium. It's about 9 minutes to get from the zoo to downtown. The westbound side slowing down around 35th Street, just through the stadium itself. It starts to let up just before Mitchell Boulevard. Looking pretty good there. We've also got our earlier delays that we had along 41 northbound have eased up. Just a little quick tap of the brakes right about at Wisconsin Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some clouds this morning, some increasing sun later on. The high today, 70. Tonight, clear, low 48. For tomorrow, sunny, a high of 75. Wednesday, windy, a high of 77. Thursday, 76. Friday, partly cloudy and a high of 70. Right now in Madison, 52 degrees. Green Bay, 69. Waukesha, 50. In Milwaukee, 52. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Just clicking over to 10 after 8 on this Monday morning. Vince Vitrano and Eric Bilstead with you. Greg Pancake Hill is producing the program. We'll take you up to 9 o'clock, and then it's Steve Scafidi today. I want to start out with this, a sadly familiar scene playing out this morning in northwest Wisconsin. The bodies of 2 fallen police officers are on the move as we speak. Large procession as officers from around that part of the state are joining this ride, bound for Minnesota, as we understand this morning. 2 officers, one from Chetek and one from Cameron, both communities in Barron County. The officers gunned down during a shootout with another person who'd been pulled over for a traffic stop on Saturday. That person also killed in the gunfire. I want to get you up to speed on everything that is happening today in this story that is still developing. TMJ4 news reporter Kaylee Starl is in Barron County this morning and was providing with her team some live pictures of that procession. She's with us live this morning. Kaylee, I know super busy morning for you, so I do appreciate a little bit of your time. Just if you can set the scene for what we just saw there as the officers' bodies were led out by this large procession this morning.
Yeah, good morning, Vince. We pulled up to the city of Barron this morning where there were just dozens of officers gathering, and they're, from all over, from Eau Claire, from these communities in Chautauqua and Cameron, and they were all gathering to send off those two fallen officers. So it was very somber. There were tears, a lot of silence, and I think just people paying their respects. And we saw about 5 cars leave Barron, and they are headed to Minnesota to go to a medical examiner's crime lab for autopsies.
Okay, yeah, we were trying to put together why that might be, and that was sort of our assessment that particularly in these smaller communities in that part of the state, they don't have their own independent ME's offices like we're used to down here in Milwaukee. So they're taking them to, like Minneapolis area or one of those other neighboring counties?
Yeah, didn't get a ton of information from the sheriff of Barron County, but he did tell us they are going to Minnesota across those state lines to head to the Midwest Medical Examiner's office.
Hey, Kaylee, it's Eric. We know very little about what led to this shooting at this traffic stop. Have they indicated at all when we might learn some more information about what happened?
The sheriff of Barron County is hopeful they will get more information out today about what happened, about those officers and the suspect, but we are also waiting just to hear more about what happened.
And we're talking with TMJ4 News reporter Kaylee Starl. She is in Barron County this morning. Who else have you talked to there, Kaylee? I mean, folks from this part of the state, a lot of us travel up north into all different places, and if you've ever traveled anywhere around this great state, you get up north and folks are super friendly. These are small communities where everybody knows each other, and I imagine I'm not saying that other places get used to it, but frankly, they're not used to this sort of thing in that part of the state. I have to imagine it's extra difficult for a lot of folks there this morning.
Yeah, Vince, we got up here to Chautauqua yesterday afternoon, and we saw dozens of people come to a memorial outside the Chautauqua Police Department. The mayor of Chautauqua tells me, this is a community of just over 2,000 people. Everyone knows everyone, and it's super close. So you can tell that there's just been an outpouring of love and support for both the officer here in Chautauqua, but also in Cameron, Wisconsin. So it definitely hits close to home, and people are just banding together to really get through this.
And Cameron and Chautauqua, I mean, you're up there. Folks don't know the area. They're pretty close to each other, right?
Yeah, probably just a 15-minute drive. There's one main road that connects the two, so very close together.
TMJ4 News reporter Kaylee Starl with us from Barron County this morning. Appreciate that, Kaylee, and look forward to your reporting through the day on this.
Thanks, Vince.
So Barron County, for those who may recognize the county, whatnot, that's the same county where Jamie Kloss lives. So she was the girl who went missing and was missing for several months. You'll remember the sheriff when you start seeing him on TV
because
again.
You pointed him out. You're like, yes.
And he was the one that was out in front and center for the Jamie Kloss case. She ultimately escaped from her captor and is now doing okay given the tragedy in that case. That was several years ago now. But in this one, the other thing that I would point out too, Vince, and we noticed this, if you're trying to process what this looks like when we were watching this procession, think of just small town USA. It's literally one road, a main street, if you will. There's a cafeteria there. There's usually in this case, I think I saw a gas station there or some type of shop like that. It's basically some small businesses over one road, and they were all gathering in this one spot. They all know everybody.
Yeah.
And it was devastating to watch. It was obviously just a heartbreaking moment for a lot of folks up there.
Looks like we're about, 45 minutes an hour northwest of Chippewa Falls, Eau Claire area, if you need a couple of more landmarks to help you place this. And yes, I had the same thought of everybody who's got a cottage up north or visited up north, when you go into town, exactly what this looks like. So if you can put your brain in that spot, that's exactly what this looked like as this large procession pulled out. And again, Kaylee confirming that they are taking the bodies of the fallen officers to a medical examiner's office. Without those facilities there, they'll do the autopsies in Minnesota.
And she also pointed out that it sounds like, anyway, that they anticipate releasing some more information at some point today as to what exactly went down on Saturday that would lead to something like this.
And we know very little about the officers involved as well. The community, I can't remember which department department just was pleading with people because this has media interest, of course, from down here in Milwaukee, but also, a lot of folks rely on some of the Minnesota TV stations for their news out there. So you have that other big media market where there's going to be interest there. And they're going to be reporters all over the place, and the police departments were pleading with people to respect the privacy of the officers, which is difficult because folks want to know what happened. Folks want to know who they are. We want to know about these people who gave their lives in the line of duty, what happened. So, right, there's probably a little bit of tension there, and you have a couple of police departments that aren't used to being in the spotlight in the way that they are about to be. But we do hope for some more information through official channels later today. So we're on top of that for you here at WTMJ. It's 8:16 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
WTMJ's Steve Scafidi.
Celebrate with your teammates. This is stupid. Bottom line is, show some class. I don't care where you're from, what you look like. 5, you pick the amount. Put
Neither
that
here nor
aside.
there, yeah.
Maybe it should just be always what we decide. Maybe the whole 15%, 20%, maybe that's outdated. One more sheriff's commercial about politics or who you're endorsing. Nobody cares. Do your damn jobs.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on WTMJ.
It's WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We all knew baseball is back, and we're doing pretty good. Pella's roster is filled with 5-tool players as well, leading off their innovative and award-winning Easy Slide horizontal windows. These windows are wider than they are tall, and the smoothest glide reveals tons of natural light and unobstructed views. Next up in the order, Pella's premium roll screens. These work like magic. You open up your window, the screen appears, then you close the window and the screen rolls away. So you're looking right out the window without any obstructions. The screen is completely out of sight. And with that move, Pella's cleared the bases. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Just like great utility players, they can be placed anywhere on the field, virtually unlimited sizes and custom colors. And Pella protects all of these players with the best lifetime warranty in the industry. The game ends in a walk-off. You can bring any number of Pella's all-star innovations home for 0% 48 months when you order by April 30th. Visit PellaWI.com for this amazing deal. Certain restrictions apply.
The Monkees, celebrated by Mickey Dolenz, performing their classic hits live. April 23rd, Pabst Theater. Also playing songs from their legendary #1 album, Headquarters. And paying tribute to Davy Jones, Mike Nesmith, and Peter Tork through stories and clips from their beloved series. Tickets on sale now at the Pabst Theater box office or PabstTheaterGroup.com.
Lane's Farm and Fleet is your one-stop shop for supplies at prices that help your hard-earned dollars go further. Like KT Auto Darkening Welding Helmets, available in a variety of designs. Your choice, $69.99. Take $100 off the Hobart Handler 190 MIG welder. On sale, $799.99. Pick up a 26-piece screwdriver set from Performance Tool. Comes with color-coded handles and storage rack. Just $24.99. And visit us at the Midwest Horse Fair in Madison, Wisconsin, April 14th through the 16th.
We are moving along pretty well. The delays through the stadium interchange have pretty much dried up. Everything's good there. Also on 41 northbound heading up past Swan Boulevard, everything's looking pretty good. So we are pretty much back to normal. Back to normal. This is what I meant to say. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
$8:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Monday morning. Just one text on the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Thank you for the coverage from Barron County. Please tell us the size of the 2 police departments for frame of reference. Apologize, I wasn't able to find that directly in the moment, but just to help you with that, Chautauqua population about 2,200 and Cameron about 1,700. So these are small communities in northeast Wisconsin. Imagine a police department that is measured in the several people as opposed to several hundred or more, right, that we're used to.
We've talked in the past about how when this has happened in Milwaukee, how neighboring communities will come and help some of the districts out so those officers can mourn or take part in some of the ceremonial aspects of honoring that fallen officer. Imagine up there. when you don't have that many. I mean, the numbers are much lower as far as how many people are even in these buildings, so to speak.
Sure, community of 2,000. Could you see a police department of a dozen?
Yeah.
Something like that. I mean, would that make sense, right? And every one of those people is going to want to be at any memorial services or any other step in this process.
And the sheriff's office, same thing. They all know each other.
So we, as I said, we have our eye on any new developments from Barron County this morning. We will keep you apprised of them. I want to touch on this just for one segment, and I don't want to take calls or you can offer your texts. That's fine, but I'm not meaning to start a conversation nor debate the tenets of pro-life versus pro-choice, because I don't think anybody changes anybody's mind on that right now. I just want to talk about how the political landscape here in Wisconsin may have changed because of the renewed debate over this. And we were talking this morning. I don't know if paradox is the right word or irony, but one of these words seems to apply, because you have the GOP got what it wanted for so long, what it fought for, what it battled for over 50 years, a half century since Roe v. Wade, right? And this summer, Roe v. Wade was overturned. That precedent was overturned at the U.S. Supreme Court. President Trump was elected in part because he promised to put pro-life justices on the high court, and that's what the GOP wanted. So they got it. And now it's interesting, in a state like Wisconsin, where we're purple, sort of blue, sort of red, we kind of go back and forth, a swing state, if you will. I wonder if, at least for the short term, that's rendered GOP candidates unelectable statewide because they have such an unpopular opinion on abortion, with that plank in their platform is unpopular with the wider electorate. Now, in pockets, you're going to have pro-life candidates who come from pro-life communities. So you'll have a legislator from some community that's largely Republican, where that person is staunchly pro-life, and that's what the voters in that community want. So you'll still send people to Madison in the legislature based on a pro-life platform. But when you bring out statewide election, like we just saw here for state Supreme Court, the stated pro-life candidate, and she either towed the line or went over it, depending on who you ask, but basically flat out said, I'm going to take care of this abortion thing here in Wisconsin, and she won by double digits. And we don't have any elections turning on a margin like that. We haven't seen a margin like that in a long time. And you and I both know people who work the polls, Eric. We've heard stories, seen the voter turnout numbers, seen how many people have been registering to vote newly, whether it be in the gubernatorial election last time around or this state Supreme Court election.
Anecdotally, you hear from a lot of people who saw it. I saw it at my polling site. I know I heard from others, too, who know people who registered to vote because of that issue on Tuesday.
It clearly motivated a lot of new people to come and either for the first time ever register or get back into the voting process, that they were the pro-life people and they felt that that position was threatened and they wanted to vote based on that issue alone. And so I wonder if the GOP has gotten that message, and if so, if what they think they might change. There was an article that you and I both talked about on Friday. It came out in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and I'll read you the headline and a couple lines from it. After second major loss, Wisconsin GOP leaders say it's about more than abortion. I don't know that it is, but I'll read you what they wrote. After losing two of the most consequential elections in the last 2 decades, largely in the lack of abortion access in Wisconsin, top Republicans said this week the party should not change its position on the issue, but instead find ways to build more effective campaigns. The party's top leaders cited ineffective campaigning and messaging on the issue in former Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Daniel Kelly's double-digit loss to the Liberal candidate Janet Protasiewicz. Here's the quote. I don't think we have to sacrifice our principles in order to talk to independent voters. That's Mark Jefferson. He's executive director of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, speaking with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Here's what else he says. He says, I'm pro-life. I'm proud to be part of a pro-life party, but I think we need to have a message and explain ourselves better than we have. I don't think they have a messaging issue. I don't think they necessarily have a candidate issue. I don't think they have a grassroots mobilization issue. And they may have some issues with all that, but that's not the primary problem. I think the Republican Party in the state has a platform issue. They have a key component of their platform, a key plank in the platform, if you will, that's not resonating with the wider number of voters statewide.
Including some Republicans.
Yeah. So what they do about it, and I want to be sensitive here because people have, This is an issue that's close to people's hearts, and they have heartfelt feelings about it on both sides. And I'm not debating that. If you're a Republican somewhere and you're pro-life and you believe strongly in that position, and the people in your district believe strongly in that position, and they vote on you based on that, what are you to do? You're just supposed to say, well, I guess statewide they don't want it, so never mind what I think or believe. I'll just pivot and find a new spot. I don't know what they do. But I do think that's the issue. And I disagree with the thought that it's not really about abortion. It's about messaging, and we didn't tell our story. And in fairness, you hear that from time to time from different campaigns. I think usually that's a cover my butt because we got beat and we don't want to really look at what the problem is because we don't have a plan for addressing it. You heard that from the Biden administration when inflation was running wild and people were coming home with grocery bills that they couldn't believe, and gas was $4 a gallon, and the administration is saying, well, we just haven't done a good enough job messaging, telling people all the good things that are happening in their economy, when right in front of their own eyes is inflation that's run wild. So I think that's a cover myself sort of defense.
Are there other platforms or other takes, for lack of a better term, that have had similar transitions? Like, I'm not comparing the two, but like same-sex marriage. For a while there, that was, neither side was on board with same-sex marriage.
President Obama ran initially
it,
saying, I am against same-sex marriage.
Then pivoted on that one. And now it's overall generally, I'm not going to try to put a number on it, but it's generally accepted by the majority, right?
Yeah, I wonder too, like, does this then, this is going to get overturned at the Wisconsin Supreme Court. We're going to go back to pre-Roe v. Wade, barring the unforeseen.
That's what you would anticipate.
This lawsuit's going to make its way through the courts. It's going to end up in the high court after Judge Protasewicz becomes Justice Protasewicz, and eventually, maybe 4-3, maybe 5-2, we're going to go back to where we were pre-Roe v. Wade, or pre-Roe v. Wade being overturned. If after that is resolved, does it no longer become a ballot box issue? Maybe in a year or 2 years once that's worked its way through? Because the issue was always there. And you always had Republicans trying to restrict to some degree what is the access that we allow for abortion in the state.
Right.
And you had Democrats who were opposed to that. And so that fight was going on. I just feel like it wasn't a ballot box issue for a lot of people in the middle, because what was going to change, right? You had Roe v. Wade, so maybe it's a little different here, maybe a little there, but it wasn't like something that was going to change based on your candidates, right?
Right.
But now it was. And the first time it was like flat out there on the ballot. We've had 2 elections, one in fall and one here, and the pro-choice candidates are winning. And so I wonder where the next play is politically for the GOP in this state. 8:28 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Wake up with me. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 8:30 for Matzik's Morning Minute. Everything you need to know about all your favorite Wisconsin teams in just 60 seconds.
Goes right back to the hole, and he sends it down. Oh, you did not. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Mondays and Fridays at 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get up, get out of here, and gone. Brian Anderson just took him out of here in right field.
Sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac.
Got chronic joint pain but want to avoid steroids and surgery? Take some advice from pro football legend Emmitt Smith. Call QC Kinetics.
Let QC Kinetics help you improve your quality of life with biologic therapies that get your body to repair and restore damaged tissue.
These exciting new regenerative treatments from local medical professionals can help your body heal itself with lasting pain relief.
Trust me, you want to avoid surgery if you can. Check out these biologic treatments to see what your options are.
QC Kinetics. Restorative, regenerative solutions with no downtime, no surgery, no drugs.
I'm talking about joint pain we all can relate to in your knees, your shoulders, your hips, and your lower back. They'll get you feeling good again.
Get relief now.
What are you waiting on? Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept called the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income, or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're 50 or older and want a bigger, better retirement, call Mitch Lyons Wealth to get a free copy of this brand new movie at 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free. Plus, I'll include a copy of my book, Retirement of Steel. And I'll even pay your shipping and handling. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535.
We've all experienced that feeling of lacing up a brand new pair of shoes.
And for some reason, it always felt like new shoes made you run faster, jump higher, and of course, look better.
Yeah, it was almost magical.
A brand new set of tires on your car or truck will instantly give you that same magical feeling.
Courtney, I couldn't agree with you more. A new set of treads always makes your vehicle look better, but more importantly, allows you to stop faster and grip the road a whole lot better.
Which is necessary when the weather is bad and driving conditions are poor. You'll appreciate having the extra traction.
Remember, there isn't a tire brand on the planet we can't get.
Everything from Goodyear Continental and Kelly to Dunlop General and Pirelli. If we sell it, we install it.
Plus, every tire we sell automatically comes with free flat tire repair. So be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. You're due for service.
Such a refreshing change. Richlands.
8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News. One quick text, and I got a lot of thoughtful texts, and I appreciate them. I'll be looking at them and reading them, but we're going to move on from the topic just on the Old National Bank talk and text line. Ron Johnson was reelected. That from Terry. Indeed. And I would just say that race was different in that the Democrats floated out a deeply flawed candidate. They cleared the road for former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, who was not up for that statewide race, and Senator Johnson, who was thought to be one of the most, if not the most vulnerable seats in the nation in the U.S. Senate, and a lot of money was spent against him, still managed to come out on top of that race. And I think that was an aberration, as we've seen, because the governor won, the attorney general won, virtually every other statewide office. The Democrats won, but for state treasurer? And that was a close one.
Mm-hmm.
Doug LaFosse won. Forget him. And quit like two minutes later.
Now, come on, that's not fair.
But yeah, I think that race was unique in that former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes turned out to not be a very good candidate for that race. And I think that's why that one ended differently. It is just past 8:30 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here's Eric.
Procession underway in northwestern Wisconsin where two officers, one from Chetek, the other from Cameron, were shot and killed during a traffic stop over the weekend. The officers' bodies now being brought to Minnesota for autopsies. The suspect also dead. We hope to learn more details about what led to this confrontation at some point today. Milwaukee police have a 12-year-old in custody for a shooting of a 14-year-old. Happened over the weekend, Sunday morning near 67th and Sheridan, just south of the Silver Spring Drive area. The 14-year-old is expected to survive. Police say there could be another suspect or two they're looking for. And the Pentagon says it is reviewing the validity of images that were posted on social media that appear to show classified documents leaked from the Pentagon. Images seem to detail U.S. and NATO aid to Ukraine as well as U.S. spying on other countries that are allies. Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Right now, everything's starting in the red. The Dow down 123, the NASDAQ down 128, the S&P down 29. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Take a look at the roads now with your Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there, Eric. Everything is looking pretty good. Any of our delays that we had along east and westbound 94 through the stadium have eased up nicely. We're back to normal there. Also through the construction zones on 41 and 43. Both of these roadways look just fine. Not seeing too many other incidents up on the board either, so we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz. Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some clouds this morning, then more sun as the day goes on. A high of 70. Tonight, clear, a low of 48. Tuesday, sunny, breezy, a high of 75. Wednesday, windy, sunny, a high of 77. Thursday, 76. Friday, partly cloudy and a high of 70. Right now in Milwaukee, 51. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Make 2023 your year with a new career at John Deere Horicon Works. Their new starting wage is over $23 to $25 per hour, plus an annual John Deere profit sharing bonus and wage increase. And nothing beats the new benefits, including health insurance for your entire family with no premiums. Get a fresh start with the pay and benefits you deserve at John Deere Horicon Works. Apply now at deere.com/Horicon.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel. Our travel advisors can help you travel anywhere in the world. Whether you're looking for a group tour or prefer to customize your own unique experience, we have the expertise to craft your next extraordinary journey, including some amazing options from our partners, Delta Vacations, Holland America Line, and Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, just to name a few. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made this summer, and Fox will get you there.
And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
The NBA's regular season is over, and the Milwaukee Bucks finished with a record of 58-24, best mark in the NBA, despite a 121-105 loss to the Raptors Sunday afternoon, a game which Bucks starters all rested. Bucks head coach Mike Budenholzer.
Credit to the players. Individually, a lot of guys, played well, collectively played well, and now it's, time to get ready for the postseason.
The Bucks begin the playoffs Sunday against an opponent that will be determined this week during the play-in tournament. Best record in the National League belongs to the Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee's 7-2 after a 6-1 win over the Cardinals Sunday afternoon. Next up, a 10-game, 3-city road trip beginning tonight in Arizona against the Diamondbacks.
This will be a challenge. We're going to play 3 very good baseball teams. The start today by Freddie, I think, puts the bullpen back in order. So we're in good shape going into a new series.
Craig Counsell's Brewers also travel to San Diego and Seattle as part of the trip. Coverage of tonight's game begins at 8:05. Spain's John Rahm wins the Masters. Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka tie for second.
Remember that time when the Bucks won 15 games?
Wasn't that long ago?
That's it.
I thought you meant 15 in a row.
Right. No, 15, period.
Total.
That's your season. Oh, feeling good. Matzik Morning Minutes is sponsored by Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. It's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Hey, what you drive and where you get it matters. If you're in the market for a new or Mazda-certified pre-owned vehicle, choose Holiday for enticing offers, more for your trade, and genuine guest care that makes fans of drivers from all over. And I'm one of them. Discover the difference at Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer per 2022 Mazda North American Operations Zone sales records. Holiday Mazda, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, or at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip.
The best quality roofs, siding, windows, and doors, expertly installed and at an affordable price. Hi, this is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Integrity, excellence, quality, and community are what we value here at Ridgetop because we want to do a great job to help our friends and neighbors. We always want to exceed expectations because customer service is our #1 goal. We're trusted local experts you can count on for your home exterior projects. Thanks for choosing Ridgetop Exteriors for your home's next project. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com for a free estimate.
'29 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Vince Vitrano and Eric Bilstead here with you. I'm going to talk through a little bit more about what's happening with the leaked intelligence documents.
This is just a thing that happens now, I guess. Like, this is more than 50 different documents at least. The DOJ looking into who might be responsible for a reported intelligence leak that could have compromised information related to the war in Ukraine and elsewhere. So some of these documents, ABC News reporting, contain references to internal discussions seemingly held by leaders in Ukraine, Russia, and U.S. allies. So they have it shows in these documents that the U.S. has actually made a lot of inroads and has some deep penetrations into the Russian Ministry of Defense, which is pretty cool, right? Like, that's pretty remarkable. Like,
I'm in favor of that.
Yes, the U.S. has like clearly been able to dig in on a lot of different areas and figure some things out as far as what Russia's going to do, how they're going to do it. And we've kind of seen that. Because remember when this all started, the White House was like, hey, what's going to happen in 2 weeks is this. However, here's the issue. Some of the documents, which the U.S., by the way, is confirming are authentic, expose the extent of U.S. eavesdropping on key allies as well, like South Korea,
we don't
Israel, and even Ukraine. So where did they come from? Steve Ganyard, with a former State Department official, he's with ABC now, says that got to look at the Pentagon.
To me, this looks like an average briefing book that you would find around the Joint Chiefs of Staff, around the chairman's office. It's something that somebody would come in and read in the morning. This is the daily intel update. So I think that the Justice Department will probably be looking, because of the clear markings that say that it came from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the first place they're going to be looking will be the Pentagon.
Yeah, okay. Like, from who, though? Some staffer?
Someone just snapped a pic and then post it on social media? Like, how do you even post that? Like, can't that... You'd be able to dig in a little bit there.
And why? If it's one of our own, like, I mean, the Hollywood version would be that we've been infiltrated by some sort of spy from some foreign actor, which I think is far-fetched. Not that it's impossible, but, like, it's more likely it's one of our own, somebody who works in the Defense Department who, for whatever reason, wanted to put this stuff out. Is that person compromised? Is that person somehow working a political angle, trying to embarrass the administration, trying to embarrass the U.S.? Like, what's the motivation here?
And now, what do you do about it if you're the U.S.?
The Pentagon is now trying to contain the fallout of all of this. Top officials over the weekend reaching out to allies and partners, trying to reassure them. This is, we are now seeing an international blame game going on. Ukraine is pointing a finger at Russia, accusing them of trying to sow doubt and discord, while Russia is pointing a finger at the U.S.
ABC's Mary Bruce. So how does that phone call go down when you call Israel? Hey, let's see.
First of all, I know you guys are real busy over there. There's a lot going on.
A lot happening right now.
Yes.
But
do you have a minute to talk about some other stuff?
Apparently, Zelensky wasn't surprised. Was like, yeah, okay. That's, that sources from Ukraine say that they would anticipate this, that the U.S. would be kind of watching them closely to see what they're doing and spying on them.
See, you're more interested. This is fat. You're more interested in this side issue. Like, the primary issue is were military secrets released. There was stuff in there about how long the front lines in Ukraine can last.
Yes, and what
in terms of ammunition,
and what Russia knows now about how because U.S. had concerns according to these documents, like serious.
Hey, these guys are going to run out of ammo on the front lines in X number of days,
right?
And
which is a big deal.
You wouldn't want that to fall into Russian hands, so they could use that to their advantage. But you're more fascinated by the side. The side play here is, okay, this information is out there, but also revealed in here is we're spying on everybody, including our friends.
Yeah, which I guess I always assumed was happening. We've been caught doing this before.
Germany, right, was among them when Angela Merkel was the chancellor, and she's like, "Hey, oh."
So it's not like unprecedented or anything. However, I mean, it's not a good look.
You don't want it out there, right? It's kind of like everybody knows it's going on, but you don't want it out there. It's not that they're not spying on us, and they should. Like, everybody's spying on everybody.
I was trying to think of what the comp is. Is it like when you have a party with some of your friends, but not all of your friends, and then they find out that you're having that party? Or are you the one that knows they're having the party and you confront them about it because you're spying on them and say, hey, I see you guys had a couple
even though you just had a party with some other friends and they weren't invited, but now you get to come at them and be all bent out of shape.
Right.
Hey, what gives? You having parties without me?
And what do you say if you're Israel? You just, okay, South Korea, South Korea going to start picking a fight right now?
Well, right. Or, I suppose, if you're Israel specifically, you say, we're busy.
Yeah, we got enough going on right now.
Call me later. We'll talk this out. I got bigger problems. If you're Ukraine, you just play nice with everybody who continues to fortify 90% of what you're doing here.
Right.
So you're not in a position to complain about what intelligence has been leaked or not.
So how in the world, moving forward, you can't trust anything anymore? I mean, if hidden documents, classified documents can just be snapped that quickly now and posted that easily, I mean, you got to start changing the way you do business. You can't let these paper. I mean, some of them
why are we writing stuff down? I'll go back to the document stuff.
Yeah,
well,
go
this president has
paperless.
documents. This one, right? Why are there documents?
Right?
At all? Everybody come in. We're going to go in the sound sealed room. I'm going to tell you some stuff. Don't write any of this down. Just remember it. Okay. Or there's one room where all the stuff is.
Because some of that stuff
if you
has
need to
to be-
review, come in here and look at the book we made.
And we're going to look at you looking at that stuff.
Yes, we're going to watch you.
We're going to videotape that entire scenario so we see if you take a picture of it and then go use that on
Stop
Twitter.
writing stuff down. And then there's who is the leak? And how aggressively are they going to go after who that person is? And then what do we do when we find him or her?
Right.
Fascinating. Answer my questions. Who are they?
I mean, we've seen some of that happen before as well, where there have been some folks who have released some information that they shouldn't have released. So if you can crack down on somebody, great. Throw the book.
Either way, tighten it up over there. 8:46 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Well, we're looking pretty good right now. No delays around the area. Volume is super light, so everything seems to be moving along pretty well. We even had this disabled vehicle on northbound 94 right about at Ryan Road. That has actually been cleared out of the way, so we are in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
It's WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. A lot of folks, I was with a lot of friends and family over the weekend. Everybody was asking about the pictures I posted of the Summit chat set that my wife and I are going to go with. We were out there at Sister Bay Furniture in Sussex, picking out some new things for the patio. It's absolutely beautiful. Sister Bay Furniture, it's not wood. This is premium, high-quality outdoor furniture. It's built in Wisconsin and built for Wisconsin. In fact, we even took a tour of the facility where they put this stuff together and manufacture it right there. It's right next to the showroom. Built from premium and sustainable materials, Sister Bay designs and builds patio furniture to survive the Wisconsin weather. It's commercial grade quality for your outdoor space. And Sister Bay, a lot of folks asking about this. No, we did not head up to Sister Bay to buy our furniture. That's the name, not the location. Everything is based right there in Sussex. That's where they make it, and that's where you can see it in the showroom. And we got some really great weather this week. Don't you wish you had already visited Sister Bay Furniture? Not too late. Get out there to the showroom today, located in Sussex on Executive Drive, or visit the website, sisterbayfurniture.com, to shop the entire selection. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin, for Wisconsin.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with AccuNet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all three aspects of your financial health, and that will pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at SteelUSA.com.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow, harvested from your body and then placed back into your body, get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, It's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Just about 9 minutes before 9 o'clock. Almost cost you an hour here this morning on Wisconsin's Morning News. We got to talk about the Mario movie because we have some solid reviews here.
Well, kind of,
Well, solid previews.
Yes.
From your kid and mine.
Well, so where do you want to start?
So, a huge weekend at the box office for Mario, right?
Yes, it was unbelievable.
I got this. The Super Mario Brothers movie has posted the biggest global opening in history for an animated film, surpassing Frozen 2 with $377 million since Wednesday.
Adorable!
$204.6 million of that is domestic earnings, nearly $80 million more than it was expected to make.
Why? Why is this so unbelievably popular?
Especially since the only other Mario movie I know of was horrible.
Yeah, the one with Bob Hoskins,
right?
John Leguizamo. That was like
actual actors, and
it was just bad.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, we were talking about this a couple of days ago, or maybe even a week or two ago, that like there's something happening here with this movie. Like all of my kids separately said something to me about it. Like, hey, Pop, what do you think about going and seeing that movie in the theater? And I was like, what? This
is what you come to me with?
Okay. And I had to ask my youngest, she's 11, why she was so fascinated. You told me you wanted to see the Super Mario movie, right?
Yeah,
Why?
because I like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, please.
So that's to do with Mario Kart?
Because we never really go to movies. We only occasionally will go to a movie, and you specifically asked me to take you to this movie.
And Eli and Noah.
Well, yeah, they said something too, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why this movie?
Because it seems good.
Yeah?
The trailer seems exciting.
Yeah, why not Cocaine Bear? Why didn't you come and ask Dad to take you to Cocaine Bear?
That was an exciting trailer, too.
Also an exciting trailer, yes. Yeah, it's interesting. So I talked with, my girls haven't talked about it, but my Nintendo kid, Max, says that's like he's totally in on Nintendo. And he also knows that the last movie was widely panned. And he addresses that in my discussion with him.
Okay.
So here's Max Vitrano on the Mario movie. So are you optimistic this is a good film? Because you're a huge Mario fan.
I'm sort of mid, because the studio that makes it is known for making absolute garbage. But, like, it actually looked pretty good from the trailers that I saw.
Is there precedent? What about the previous Mario film or films?
It is universally considered an absolute travesty.
This is the live action with the two dudes?
Yeah, and everyone likes it because it's so absolutely awful that, like, it is absolutely hilarious.
But the hope is that this is actually good?
I believe that is the hope.
I believe that is the hope. Okay.
Well, so I'm still trying to figure out what makes it so unbelievable. You had an interesting thought.
I just think it's the intersection of our generations. Right? You and I,
we were there at the beginning, at the
beginning.
birth of Nintendo.
Yes, and Mario was an up and coming character in Nintendo World, so we had that. So we have the nostalgia that we're interested in. And then they, like Bryn, your daughter is like, oh my God, Mario Kart. Like they're in that world now, still playing the stuff, and like we intersect. So there's something in it for both of us.
Kind of like the Lego movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That was also popular.
All of those movies where it's like something that's familiar to us where we can go back and enjoy. And then I imagine, although I haven't heard, a lot of times in those kids' movies, like there's like a secret layer that only parents can hear. Like there are jokes that are planted in there for you and me, for mom and dad, that the kids don't get. It goes over their head. It's almost like they're not tuned into that frequency.
It'd be great if there's some Easter eggs from like some old school tech, right?
Right.
Bringing
exactly.
some of that back.
Some 80s junk in there that we enjoy, and then they're in it for their current Mario.
So according to Rotten Tomatoes, Super Mario Brothers scoring a 96% with audiences, so that's good, that's high. For critics, 56.
Well, again, is this going to be a critically acclaimed script or something like that? No.
The Super Mario Brothers movie is a colorful, albeit thinly plotted, animated adventure that has about as many Nintendos as Nintendon'ts.
Hey, you get it? Yeah, exactly. I give that review a bad review. This from John on the Old National Bank Talking text line. Vince and Eric, got to say, I took my grandson Saturday night. It was very good. I actually stayed awake, and I'm happy he asked me to go.
Okay, good.
All right, the Mario movie is out in theaters now.
I'm going to feed on it.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 1. Creative Planning is a wealth management firm that believes in a total